local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The year was 1948. The Sacramento Symphony was founded. Harry Truman was president, and Jerry Mathers from Leave It to Beaver was born. And Walter Keyes opened his first Naturewood home furnishing store 77 years ago on 25th and Broadway. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. All those many years ago, the Keyes family promised integrity and quality in serving families just like yours and mine. Near as I can tell, Walter would have been pretty proud to know that those same values are evident today at Naturewood Home Furnishings. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings. Furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their Veterans Day Save the Tax sale and get started making your own brand of memories. The Keyes family would love to hear them. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. We are 30 minutes away from Brett Siegel, who will join us at 11 to break down everything that is happening, not just with the Kings, but not just with the Kings, as well as the Warriors, the Grizzlies, all of it. The Western Conference as a whole. Seems like there's more drama in the Western Conference, but there's also some drama in the East with the Magic, who are struggling. By the way, Clippers, they play tonight. They've lost 5 straight, but the Magic might be a disconnect between Paolo Banchero and the head coach. We feel like we know where that will head, and it's normally not in the direction of the head coach. So we will talk to Brett Siegel about all that.
And the Clippers have Denver tonight as well on the back.
Yeah, okay, well, there you go. There you go. No Kawhi, and he's in, he's out, and they've struggled. They've been starting, Ramsey was saying, they've been starting John Collins, trying to find their way, haven't really figured it out quite yet.
And CP3 has basically been phased out the rotation. Mm-hmm. Former Sacramento King Bogdan Bogdanovic has been in and out the lineup. Half of that's because he's still coming back from the torn hamstring that he suffered in Eurobasket, but he's been in and out of Ty Lue's rotation as well.
Yeah, so we will talk to Brett Siegel about all of that. By the way, 1 o'clock, you got what? Including today, 3 more chances to win tickets to see comedian Matt Rife for the Stay Golden World Tour at Golden One Center next year. Okay, October 11th, 2026. So you get them, stash them, and it's something to look forward to. You can make a night out of it for sure. So we are giving those tickets away at 1 o'clock. We will pick that lucky number, and you got to be quick because they have been going quickly. All right, Ramsey, without further ado, let's get to, because I want to hear, this is only the second time I'll be hearing it. Let's get to the famous/infamous Doug Christie pregame rant. How often does a pregame speech get aggregated? Okay, NBA Central was talking about it. I think Bleacher Report and SportsCenter picked it up, or ESPN picked it up as well.
ESPN had an article about it, but hey, I'm all good with it.
There you go. All right, well, let's hear it right now for those who may have missed it.
Good evening. Some of you guys, I think everybody in here knows me. If you don't, my name is Douglas Dale Christie. I'm head coach of the Sacramento Kings. Okay? Change is hard, y'all. It's hard. But understand, and we understand, that we're not there yet. But we about to work at it like crazy. We totally get that. And it'll be bumpy. It will, because change is like that. But buckle up. For the real ones, buckle up. And for all the rest of you, you know who you are. You know how I feel about that. We, and I say we as an organization, make no mistake, we're aligned in what we're doing. We are aligned in what we're doing. I said this before, you heard me. I'm going to say it again. We're going to play to a standard. That's what we're going to do. Tough, competitive, disciplined, professional, team-oriented, and accountable. That's what we're going to play to. So when you look out there, everybody in this organization is held to that. Now, as an identity, that's defend, rebound, and share the damn basketball. That's what we're going to do every single time we hit the floor. So the pain of Kings fans, there's nobody that sat in this seat with the exception of two people, Rick Adelman and probably Jerry Reynolds, that understand the pain of Kings fans. So know that as I sit here, who experienced that pain with those men, we're going to get it right. We're going to work every damn day to get it right. So when I see the hate, the haters, the fakers, all you guys, you keep that energy. That's good. You keep that. And you know who you are. Because while you doing that, we're going to be working. And while you doing that, we're going to be growing. And while you do that, eventually, we're going to be coming. The King Show. Sac proud. Know that. Appreciate y'all.
Doug Christie. With Douglas, what was his middle name?
Douglas Dale Christie.
Douglas Dale Christie.
From Seattle, Washington.
Douglas Dale Christie. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Now, look, I heard that, and I wanted to be juiced up. I did. No, I did, okay? I just knew they had the Nuggets. That was the only problem. I wanted to be hyped up, and I, deep down, I thought, okay, let's go out there and let's get it. Now, I think what Doug was saying, and the reason we talked about in the first segment, he didn't necessarily wait to say it against a team like the Hawks, who the Hawks are not a slouch. Don't get me wrong. They're just not the Nuggets, is because that was Doug's whole point, right? We might not even win tonight, but we are working at this, and this is going to take time. I thought it was interesting bringing up, just the organization as a whole and being on one accord. I don't have a problem with it, Ramsey. I do like it more than, I guess, dislike it. I'm just saying, brother, it's game 11. This is going to be a long season. It's game 11, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Doug spoke to me. Doug spoke to a lot of people with that speech. I don't care what anybody has to say. I'll just say it. He spoke. And if you know what he meant, if you know, you know. It's something that it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, especially on air. But if you know, you know. And that's I felt that speech.
Okay.
And I need more.
Okay. I need more on the court. Okay. And again, a lot of this is not on a lot. There is some that is on Doug. He is the coach, right? We did this exercise. I think we did this exercise. What was it? Yesterday. What would their record be with Eric Spoelstra? What would their record be with Taylor Jenkins, right? And I just use that as Jenkins being kind of in the middle and Eric Spoelstra. Heck, what would their record be with Mike Brown, right? The different levels of coaches, and I think obviously they'd have their best record with Eric Spoelstra, with everybody else, with the Taylor Jenkins of the world. I don't know about the Mike Browns of the world. I think we've seen that movie before. It's been a little different. Look, Doug felt like something needed to be said. I could only imagine all the stuff that is swirling around. And this is what I tried to tell y'all after that game in Minnesota, or against Minnesota, I should say. It was in Sacramento. That's what I was trying to lay out, because there was so much swirling around that night. And then going into that morning and the next morning and everything about how long is this squad going to be together. Doug is going to be that cover, right? He's going to try to be that shield, if you will, right? And that's what he did last night for his guys. And I think his guys did go out there and try to give him what they wanted to give him, right? They just went up against a bulldozer. And Doug wasn't necessarily saying, we're going to go out there, we're going to win tonight, it all starts tonight. Doug is saying, it's a process. It's a process. And those that want to be along for the ride, cool. Those that don't want to be along for the ride, or those that want to hate, when things do turn around, just know that we know where you were at. Now, for me and people like me that have to analyze, right, and fans too, right, that have to analyze what you're seeing and what you're watching, it goes to the word that I might use on average the most on this show every week. And we should do that during the summer. Allen's overused terms. We will get to that in the summer. But compartmentalize, right? When you look at especially somebody like Doug, where Carmichael Dave, he's got to do what he's got to do on this show. He's got a relationship with Doug. This stuff changes when you know who these guys are. The Mike Browns of the world and other coaches that they've had where there's no relationship. This is different. This is different. And that's true. Now, on the other side, looking at it from Doug's perspective, he's got to understand that too. And I would assume, since Doug was sitting in this seat not too long ago, that Doug understands, look, Dave, the new dude, Allen, they got to do what they got to do, right? As long as it's in between the lines, Doug was doing it himself, but it feels like there was a level somewhere in the atmosphere that he felt like a line got crossed and he wanted to let whoever, he ain't talking about me, whoever out there know that line was crossed. But I do not think this is about analyzing what you're watching as a host, as a fan, as a content creator, as a whatever you want to call it, right? There is a level that he felt like got crossed, and he wanted to let them know. And back to the actual team of it and what they're going to be and when this thing is going to turn into a butterfly from a caterpillar, honestly, we have no clue, right? There are two battles happening here. There are almost two storylines. You ever watch a show, right, and there's two storylines going on at one time? Sometimes the show's got too many storylines. Would you ever watch a show, and right now I'm watching Gen V. And Gen V, it's the spinoff of The Boys. Outstanding, right? But there are, there's really one storyline, but there are a couple storylines within it. And it all is going to come together in the finale, or you would assume, right? There are two storylines that will come together sooner rather than later when it comes to the Kings. It's what this current team can do and what the timeline is on it and what the moves will be if they don't figure it out. And if that is December, as Carmichael Dave alluded to, I think it all depends on, one, it takes two to tango, who else is interested, and two, how long this team can keep their head above water. Because, again, they got a game again tonight. And the Hawks are not, we're not talking about the Jazz, okay? In their second game of a back-to-back, these guys are older. That's why I said, Ramsey, I would sit the big three and let the young dudes cook.
I'm not in the boat of trying to sit anybody tonight. You need to win as many games as possible starting tonight. Atlanta had their feet kicked up, chilling. They might have actually walked down through the tunnel, potentially been in the building last night.
Sure.
And watched this game against the Nuggets last night and did some of their own personal scouting to potentially have in their mind, how do we attack the Sacramento Kings team to come out with another win in California? We already got one. We already got one at the Intuit Dome site of the All-Star game. We got to go about 6 hours north, driving-wise, about an hour flight north, figure out, all right, how do we attack the Sacramento Kings team to try to find a way to get a win? And that's their mantra. That's their mindset. And you put your best out. They put their best out on the court. We see what happens.
I hear you. Whose side you on? Would you give everybody just a little mental breather, the big three, and let the young boys cook? Or does every game matter and you got to put your best foot forward? And at some point, you got to win some basketball games. When we return, let's take a look at this box score. Do we have to? Yes, we do. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Kings play here, baby. Tonight, Kings and Hawks. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison. And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that. We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
The mildest summer in 30 years has left AC makers with overstock and far below their sales targets. Your chance for huge savings. Sierra Pacific's partnership with top manufacturers mean exclusive discounts to clear inventory fast. Get premium systems installed flawlessly by friendly pros with ironclad warranties and great discounts with SMUD rebates. Plus, HVAC's tax credits expire December 31st. Call for your complimentary proposal. Visit SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air, the guys in the big red trucks.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Manny Too Legit on the Sack Chat says, how are you guys feeling about tonight's game? I don't know. Later in the show, Ramsey and I will give you a Hawks Kings preview as the Hawks, obviously, they got some good young talent. They're dealing with a little bit of drama when it comes to the Trae Young thing. Trae Young's not playing right now. They did just beat the Lakers. No, it doesn't look like there was an Austin Reeves sighting in that game. Luka did play, but no Austin Reeves. The Lakers, and we're going to talk about this, I think, in the 12 o'clock hour. A lot of teams are dealing with stuff right now, man. It's not just the Kings. A lot of teams are dealing with stuff. It might feel like the Kings because it feels like it's always the Kings, but a lot of teams are just dealing with stuff. I know the Lakers are winning while they're dealing with stuff, but a lot of teams are dealing with stuff. In that game, Zachary Risachet, one of the top picks not too long ago, 19 points. You had Onyeka Okongwu with 12. You had Gui with 21. Keaton Wallace with 14, Dyson Daniels with 10, Newell with 17, Obi Toppin's brother with 4, and the guy that I was trying to tell y'all about, Vit Krejci, with 17. I try to tell y'all, Duke Cook. Hey, Trey, the Colin Cowherd meme. Hey, Trey, we're good here. I keep trying to tell y'all. So do not sleep. You're going to see, look, I don't want Vit to go off tonight, but you're going to see Vit Krejci tonight.
Vit Krejci went off Monday night against the Clippers at the Intuit Dome for a career-high 28.
Let me tell y'all something.
Cook the Clippers.
Stop. Kyle liked to make these jokes because I'd start to grind film on random players. Stop playing with me, man. Okay? Stop playing with me. So let's get to this box score as we kind of close the book on the Nuggets game because we got to get ready for the Hawks game. But Aaron Gordon, hey, they kept him under 20. I guess that meant Precious Achiuwa did his job. 17 points. He was a plus 18. Cam Johnson, 5 points, a plus 12. Nikola Jokic, 35 points. He was 16 of 19 from the field. He had 15 rebounds. He had 7 assists. 2 steals, and he from three-point range, he only took one. He only took one. He was 1 of 2. He's a plus 11.
And the one he hit was the dagger at the end of the game that basically sealed the game for Denver.
Jamal Murray, 23 points. He had 8 assists. He's just so nonchalant. You look up and you don't realize the numbers that he's putting up. He had 3 rebounds. Did have 3 turnovers. He was 4 of 9. He took 9 3-pointers. Jamal Murray. He was 4 of 9. From three-point land, he was a plus 11. Christian Brown came back to reality. He had 12 points, a bunch of singles. I know he did have a double digits in points, but 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal. He was 2 of 5 from three-point land, and he was a plus 18, though. He tied Aaron Gordon with the highest plus-minus on the team. Jonas Valanciunas, a plus 3. He had 10 points, 7 rebounds. When they showed Jokic with his leg up, just chilling, as Jonas Valanciunas is just doing work. He only played 15 minutes, but it feels like he played for a longer period of time. He was a plus 3. Tim Hardaway Jr., look, no disrespect, but I know he had 2 threes, but I don't know what to do with Tim Hardaway Jr. at this point. I really don't. I know he's supposed to make shots. It just doesn't feel like he makes a ton of shots. But he was a minus 3 last night. He had 6 points. He was 2 of 6 from three-point land. Bruce Brown been cooking the Kings, man. Bruce Brown, 14 points. He had 7 rebounds somehow.
And hit that game-ending 3 in the corner that Jokic kicked out to him when everybody looked at like, oh, Jokic's going to score. No, Jokic does what he does. Kicked out, Bruce Brown hit the 3, and that was a wrap.
5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from three-point land. And he was right there in the middle. Not positive, not negative, just a 0. Julian Strawther only played 3 minutes. Kyle's not here, so I'm not going to get on Julian Strawther or Peyton Watson, who did play 18 minutes with 0 points. I'm not going to get on either of them. Okay?
No, we can get on Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson was out there getting his cardio on, and he fouled out. Peyton Watson fouled out last night. So we're going to get on Peyton Watson.
He fouled out in 18 minutes. Okay? And by the way, remember that disrespect I was talking about yesterday? Obviously, the disrespect we're talking about with Domantas Sabonis. Now all of a sudden he's on everybody's Photoshop. But remember the disrespect yesterday that I told you about? How Nuggets fans said, you know what? We could probably get Keon for Julian Strawther. This brother played 3 minutes, 0 points, 1 rebound. This is what they think of the Kings. We can finesse the Kings into Julian Strawther and Peyton Watson for Keon Ellis. Now, again, Keon, there might be some purple lenses going on, but come on, man. Y'all not going to disrespect the Kings like that. Y'all not going to disrespect Keon like that.
And the other thing that, I mean, you slightly touched on Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson was non-existent last night.
Right now, they got him, what's a good example? Andre Roberson. They got him just running around, defending at a high level, but his offense, he doesn't know where he fits offensively yet.
Roberson, Thabo Sefolosha, I can continue.
Matisse Thybulle even. He's a better offensive player than those guys.
He's a much better offensive player than what he showed in this little sample size last night. I mean, Cam Johnson had a trajectory, especially in Phoenix, probably to be their second best scorer before they moved off of him. They were trying to put him in the Robin role to Batman as Devin Booker, but unfortunately it didn't work out. A couple teams later, he's now on a contending team in Denver, which I like him in Denver much better than I do the person they moved off of, Michael Porter Jr. Mm-hmm. But he needs to find his offense for them to truly take off, in my opinion.
Well, and Mikal Bridges, it was kind of, hey, which one of you is going to kind of take the next step? And I think you could look at it like this, Ramsey. If I'm a Denver fan, I'm saying we haven't even unlocked Cam Johnson offensively yet. So we're only going to get better. All right, let's get to the Kings of this. 18 minutes, a -13 for one. Precious Achiuwa, he had 6 points, 0 of 2 from three-point land. Domantas Sabonis played 26 minutes. He fouled out. No turnovers. He only had 8 rebounds, and I say only because it's Domantas Sabonis. 4 assists. He was a -18. And, he had 19 points. DeMar DeRozan played 31 minutes, 18 points, was a -19. Let's just see how high we can get it, Ramsey. 1 steal, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 1 block for DeMar DeRozan. 2 of 6 from three-point line. His best three-point shooting night, in my opinion. That's not saying a ton, but it was. Dennis Schroeder, 21 minutes, a bunch of donuts, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, so you can cancel out those assists. 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from three-point land. Somehow he was only at -14 because he only played 21 minutes. But Dennis Schroeder was clearly the worst player on the floor last night out of everybody that played significant minutes besides Peyton Watson. Zach LaVine, 35 minutes. How Zach LaVine ended up playing the most minutes and scoring 12 points is beyond me. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 2 of 6 from three-point land. He only took 12 shots like Ramsey laid out. He was a team worst, a game worst, -22. Drew Eubanks, look, man, 19. This is where we're at with the Kings. Drew Eubanks scored the most points on the Kings. He tied Domantas Sabonis.
Drew Eubanks might have been the best player on the floor for the Kings last night, honestly.
I'm not even going to disagree with you, Ramsey. Now, that's a problem, but I'm not even going to disagree with you. 22 minutes.
Because what Drew Eubanks did, once Sabonis got into foul trouble and lost his rhythm, Drew Eubanks basically came in and picked up the slack. And like you said, he was 8 and 9. The one thing that I do need to preface to Kings fans, take what he does at the free throw line with a grain of salt, because he's about – I thought he was worse of a free throw shooter than I looked on his career. He's a 71% free throw shooter. But, I mean, he's about 50% this year. If he goes 1 or 2 of the line, take it.
Yeah.
it's Drew Eubanks.
Yeah, you got
If he can get to 60 to 65%, even better. But you got to preface yourself and come in with realistic expectations. If he goes 1 and 2 from the line, great. If he hits both, even better.
We're up against it. Russell Westbrook did play 31 minutes, so Russ FC is not going to complain. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, only 1 of 7. Maybe he's coming back to reality.
He was 1 of 7 from 3, but he's 3 of 12 overall.
Yeah, from the three-point line, a -1. Malik Monk, 28 minutes. Started out really hot, and then nothing in that second half. I guess it wasn't just Malik in that regard. 12 points, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Russ only had 2 turnovers. Russ was a -1. Malik Monk was a +2. Keon Ellis, 14 minutes. He did play early, so no we want Keon chance. He only took one shot, and he made it. But he's not a high-volume guy. He was a +3. 2 blocks for Keon, 1 steal, and no other recordable statistics. Nick Clifford, 14 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point land. He was a +8. When we return, it is time. Brett Siegel joins us to break down the state of the state when we have some beam talk in Sacramento Kings. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Hawks.
Tip off at 7. Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
Set it free. Welcome to the Running Man.
In the future, one man must run or die. Glenn Powell stars in The Running Man, the IMAX experience, playing at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento. Get pulled into the madness of the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen as the chaos unfolds. Reserve your seat before the clock runs out at IMAX.com/Sacramento. The Running Man, playing now through November 20th at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
No payments for 90 days at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's right. No payments until February 2026 on every new Ram, Jeep Wrangler, Gladiator, even the Pacifica. No payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock at the guaranteed lowest price. You can check out their full lineup at SacSuperstore.com or stop on by. They're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's the place where a handshake still means something. And right now, no payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports 1140.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
1 hour down. Got 3 to go. And what better way to kick off hour number 2 than with my guy. I told y'all it was going down, and it always goes down whenever he joins us. Brett Siegel of Clutch Points joins us, national NBA insider and reporter for Clutch Points. Brett, happy Wednesday. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing well, Alan. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. There's plenty to talk about. I had meant to reach out to you anyway about your most recent Siegel scoop, which everyone can check out at clutchpoints.com. And then yesterday happens, Brett, and all you know what breaks loose. We got Kings rebuilding talk. We have a Warriors drama as well, and everything in between with Ja. The Western Conference has a level of drama, if you will. And there's some drama going on in the East, too. So we got you, Brett, for the whole segment. And I'm like a kid in the candy store. I don't know where to start, but let's just start here, Brett. I'm sure you saw our own Carmichael Dave and the report that wasn't a report, that was kind of a report that broke yesterday, got aggregated everywhere. From your side of things, Brett, what are you hearing, and what was your take on what Dave said as far as who is available and the timeline? That was the thing for me, the timeline of December. Of course, more players will be available, but just we were talking about the parallels between what this team wants to do on the court and what the reality is off the court. Just give me your broad thoughts on all that and what you've been hearing with the Kings.
Well, Alan, I think it kind of goes back to the whole aspect of school is back in the NBA. School's back in session. We had that first week where everyone was just watching the stars go off and all these big scoring nights. It was just masking the drama that we always know and see around this time in the NBA season. And now that we're 3 weeks settled into school, we had back to school night. Now we're settled in with everything, and now we're seeing the drama appear with all these teams, specifically in the Western Conference has all the drama because of all these teams that expect to be the best and expect to be in the playoffs. And one of those teams that entered the year with playoff expectations are the Sacramento Kings. And granted, maybe they're not in the same championship picture as the Oklahoma City Thunder per se, but they have all-star talents, and this is a team that was on the cusp of making the playoffs last year via the play-in tournament. They add some really good players that have been in this league for a while, and now the expectation is to make the playoffs. Well, through their first 11 games, like you said, it's been drama-filled with a 3-8 record. And now there's rumors of them potentially tearing things down. And it kind of goes back to the offseason, Alan, of the conversations that we've had ongoing of what is this team going to look like come time December, come time for the trade deadline, and will they ultimately pull the trigger on some of these moves? And we said back then that it's very likely that they're going to look at the market for guys like DeMar DeRozan, like Malik Monk, just because they have been involved in trade rumors throughout the offseason. And now, as the season progresses, his team is now 5 games below 500. Doesn't look like that there's any path for them to really get better, especially with their upcoming schedule, where they're going to be on the road for 5 games playing teams that are all competing for playoff spots in the West. So it doesn't look good right now for Sacramento, but of course the horizon's always brighter for these types of teams that have aging veterans. They have contracts that aren't necessarily notable to the franchise in the state that they are, and we're talking about DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, those contracts that just kind of don't go anywhere and provide much value for them. So can you offload some of those guys, bring back draft picks, bring back younger players, and kind of kickstart your rebuild like you wanted to do in the offseason with a guy like Jonathan Kuminga? So we're going to see some type of youth movement, obviously, within the next year from the Sacramento Kings. It's just not sustainable to go on with the type of team that they have with LaVine, Sabonis, and DeRozan. Some type of change is coming. Whether or not it's a complete overhaul and they dump everybody, I don't necessarily know if that's going to be the case. I think we're going to look to see them make one move first and then go from there.
Talking to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, friend of the show. Yeah, Brett, when we were talking a little bit this morning, I was hoping you could kind of lay out what you laid out to me as far as let's just call it the Kings priority list, and who you think is at the top of that priority list for them to maybe move off of. Because I agree with you too, Brett. I just don't see the Kings moving their quote-unquote big 3 all this season. It's just not realistic. But I think myself and you were both on the same page with where that priority list starts and who that may be.
Well, we can start at the very top with Domantas Sabonis. I haven't heard anything suggesting that, A, he wants out of Sacramento, and B, that they want to trade him. So whether or not there is actual interest out there, that's something that I haven't heard at this time. Would there obviously be teams interested? Sure, but that's a big cap number to try to chase at $42 million, and he's under contract for a few more years there. So in today's NBA, where teams really don't want to take on contracts past a year or two, that's a big question mark, especially given that the center market around the league, especially for a guy like Sabonis, who isn't the most athletic, and he's not necessarily known for stretching the court as much as a shooter compared to some of these other modern-day big men. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of market he would demand and whether or not a team would be willing to give up a lot of the assets that the Kings would want for a multi-time All-Star and a rebounding champion like Sabonis. So there's nothing really brewing on that front from my understanding. And would there be interest? I'm sure there would be. It's just about making those cap figures work, and that would be very difficult for a bunch of teams to do. And then the other question with Sabonis is, would the Kings even want to deal him to a team in the Western Conference, which I'm sure that there would be interest there, as there's been speculation. And I know that you've talked about how there's even teams in California that would be interested. I'm sure that there are. And if he was on DeRozan's contract, it would be much more interest than there potentially perceives to be. But at $42 million, and given his status with the Kings as being the number one guy that the franchise loves and that the fans love, and he's fully embraced being the Kings leader, I just don't see that being a scenario in season. Come time for next offseason, that's another discussion to have. But we're talking about this season, what moves could potentially be made. LaVine, Sabonis, those guys are pretty much locked into their contracts right now. It's very hard to move a player that's making $40 million or more ahead of the trade deadline. So we go down the list. DeMar DeRozan, that's the name that I'm really looking at of what is his next team going to be, because I do not see him playing out this season with the Sacramento Kings. It doesn't make sense for them to keep him around, especially once Keegan Murray does return from injury, because you're going to want to play Murray. They've already signaled that they want to play Meek Clifford. They don't want to give up Keon Ellis, so he's going to get minutes as well. Russell Westbrook's playing well. It doesn't seem like that they're going to take away minutes from him. So what do you do with DeMar DeRozan? And the answer there is you move him for as much assets as you can get back. He's an aging veteran. He's not a guy that's going to be a part of the future of this team. And there would be some interest out there in the trade market come time for the trade deadline, because next season he's only guaranteed for around $10 to $11 million. That's a contract that a team could bring in and look to flip for something else, or simply use as a cap dump. And that's something that we saw the Golden State Warriors do a few years back when they traded Jordan Poole to the Washington Wizards for 1 year of Chris Paul, and then they ultimately dumped Chris Paul for that $30 million cap release. So we could see something similar here with DeMar DeRozan being moved before the trade deadline, contributing to a team as a rental to try to make a playoff run, and then being dumped next offseason. But That's really the name that makes the most sense to trade at this time. He's a proven star in this league, and you could probably get back maybe a young talent that hasn't worked out somewhere and needs a fresh start. And maybe that's really what the Kings front office is looking to get for a guy like DeRozan at this point.
Talking to Brett Siegel, national NBA insider for Clutch Points. Look, Brett, I told you, and I've teased it to everyone that we're having you on for the whole segment. So I'm going to make this. I'm going to make it worth it, Brett. So I got something for you off the top of my head. And look, we could talk about this. The thing about the Warriors to me is that time is of the essence. But I understand it's a big number for Domantas Sabonis. I understand that they, the Warriors, they want everything on that 2-year plan that matches up correctly. I think they might be one off with Sabonis. He'd have an extra year. But just walk with me for a second. If it was either now or we could say fine at the end of the season, Domantas Sabonis to the Bay, right? For Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody. Now, I don't think Buddy Hield would ever want to set foot in Sacramento again, but you would rework Buddy Hield somewhere else. Money-wise, as we know, Domantas Sabonis and his value, it would be confusing as far as first-rounders are concerned. The Warriors just wouldn't do it. But money-wise, that would work. What is your first thought when you hear that?
Money-wise, if you were to give up those 3 players, if you're the Warriors, it works. But now you run into a little bit of a predicament where you have 14 players under roster right now. If you're the Warriors, you trade 3 for 1. Now all of a sudden you're down to 12 guys. You bring in Seth Curry on a prorated contract. You have 13. You still have to fill that minimum slot. And the Warriors are currently over the first apron, and they're only $2 million away from the second apron. So it would be tough for them to navigate financially in season to make a trade like that. Now, if you're talking next offseason, obviously the logistics of it change with Jonathan Kuminga's contract increasing, Moses Moody's contract increasing. You have a little bit more cap flexibility to make those kind of moves in the offseason compared to in season. But it's certainly a scenario in which it would make sense when we're talking from a hypothetical angle where the Warriors have always needed a center. He's a playmaking big man, and that's the exact type of big man that has thrived in Steve Kerr's systems through the years. They don't need a guy that is athletic and can shoot threes consistently and just score at will. They need a guy that can facilitate for Steph Curry. They need a guy that can fill the minutes of the role of being a main facilitator when Draymond Green's not on the floor. So it takes an enormous amount of pressure off him, and now he can set screens, which he's the best at doing for Steph Curry. So the fit makes sense for Domantas Sabonis going to the Warriors, whether or not they would be willing to relinquish Moses Moody and Buddy Hield. In addition to Jonathan Kuminga to make that happen, that's a whole other avenue because it goes back to what we talked about this offseason of them not wanting to trade Moses Moody or Buddy Hield in a sign-and trade to give Kuminga to the Kings. So there's a lot of moving pieces there. It would have to involve multiple teams because Buddy Hield, if the Warriors were even willing to move him, would not be going back to Sacramento. No. So it's just very hard to imagine a 2-team trade there. But again, lots of time to figure it out if that's something to happen in the offseason. But in season, I would add a layer of skepticism there. But there's certainly a lot to discuss, Allen, with the Warriors, and I'm sure that's kind of where we're going with this.
That's exactly where we're going. I led you there, Brett, so let's just get on into it. Talking to Brett Siegel, a national NBA insider for Clutch Points. Brett, I know that you have a lot of information and intel when it comes to what in the world. It was all good just a week ago, Brett, literally with the Warriors. Now the vets are calling out, quote unquote, or asterisk, somebody, and there's clearly going to have to be some type of conversation internally. They have a back-to-back. They get the red-hot Spurs. Tonight, Anthony Slater just came out and said the guys are playing, and of course the guys are playing. This is when they got to get their W's early on because we know that throughout the season, being an older team, they're not necessarily going to continue to get healthier throughout the season. So they're all playing tonight. What is going on out there down Highway 80? What's going on, Brett?
Allen, I honestly think that they have been dealt the worst start to the season in terms of what their schedule looks like between the back-to-backs and just the road trips and how much mileage that they've already traveled this season. I mean, the Warriors have gone from West Coast to East Coast, back to the West, back to the East, and now they're on a 6-game road trip. They've only played, I believe it's like 4 or 5 games in front of their fans. And they started out hot. They were 4-1. They looked great. The vibes were high with this team. And then they go on the road for two games in 3 days against the Bucks and the Pacers. And they lost to a Bucks team in heartbreaking fashion to a Bucks team without Giannis. And that kind of hit the locker room hard. And then they go on the road and they give the Indiana Pacers, who have been absolutely dreadful this season without Tyrese Halliburton and about 8 other guys. They lose to that team and give them their first win of the season. And then the struggles just continue. They lose in Sacramento without Curry. They get thumped in Denver without Curry. Ultimately, they win against the Pacers. But then last night in Oklahoma City, I mean, it was kind of expected. I don't think anybody really thought that in Curry's first game back from his illness, he was in bed for 48 hours. I don't think anybody expected them to be able to just turn things on and beat the Thunder, and that wasn't the case. They lost by 24 points. They were never in that game. And then after the game, we see the dysfunction kind of coming out of Draymond Green is frustrated, saying that everybody has their own agendas in this league, but some guys need to be committed to winning a little bit more. You have Jimmy Butler with his comments, and it doesn't seem like that they're singling one person out in particular. I've seen people trying to speculate that, it's Kuminga or, it's Brandon Podziemski. I think it's just a message to the group that everybody needs to be better. Everybody needs to be on the same page. And that makes Wednesday night's game in San Antonio, it's not a must-win, but this is the most important game of the season that the Warriors have had so far. Because all of a sudden, if you dip below 500 and you're now 6-7, the vibe is completely different than if you're 7-6. If you can right the wrongs and you can start to get things going in the right direction, we've said it before, winning cures everything in this league. And that was the case at the start of the season, especially when we were talking about the Jonathan Kuminga drama in the offseason. That was all forgotten because he was playing well, the vibes were immaculate, and this team was winning. Well, now the script has flipped a little bit because they've only won twice in their last 6 or 7 games. And now they not only lost to the defending champs, but now they're playing the San Antonio Spurs, who are right behind them in the Western Conference. These are the 2 best young teams in the West. And if you lose back-to-back games against them, maybe they even lose 3 games because they have 2 straight games against San Antonio. If they lose all 3 of those games, you're going to see just frustrations continue to mount. The veterans are going to be mad, and there's going to be major questions about if this veteran team can actually compete anymore in the Western Conference. Because if you lose to those 2 young, emerging championship-like organizations, the Thunder already winning one, the Spurs looking like that they're going to be there for a long time to come, where does that really leave your team? And that's really the big question facing the Warriors right now, is they still kind of try to mingle with that 2-timeline plan that they have going on.
Talking to Brett Siegel, and Brett, all right, I gotta move forward. We got rules in Sacramento. Can't talk Warriors for more than about 30 seconds. Can't talk Lakers for more than about 10 seconds. So I'm already getting crushed. So let's bring it back to the Kings here. But I want to take this approach when it comes to the Ja Morant stuff. What have you heard about Ja Morant? And as far as the Kings are concerned, Carmichael Dave, we were going back and forth yesterday about whether the Kings would get enticed to go back to the well of distressed stars. And to me, I don't know, Brett, I joke about the Green Goblin mask, and they're going to see Zion, or they're going to see Trae Young, or they're going to see Ja Morant, and just say, well, if we tweak one thing here or there, then maybe we can make it work. Carmichael Dave seems to think that they might not be able to move on from everyone right now, but they will not buy in deeper to this experiment that they have. What have you heard on that front, and what are you hearing out of Memphis as far as Ja Morant is concerned?
So Ja Morant's situation has been the number one storyline around the league. It's what everybody's paying attention to with the Memphis Grizzlies, to see if his relationship with Thomas Isolo has actually been repaired, or if this is just a front that they're putting on. Because there was a heated locker room discussion in the NBA Cup loss to the Lakers. We reported on it on Friday at Clutch Points in our latest intel story about Ja Morant and the festering drama there in Memphis, where Isolo basically called him out in front of everybody at halftime and singled him out, said, you need to be a better leader. You need to inject energy into this team. Despite them leading by 14, Isolo did not like the way that they closed that half, and so he took it upon himself to target Morant. And he's not afraid to do that. He did that in the EuroLeague with his team. He holds players accountable, and he wasn't going to stand for the lack of effort that he was seeing from his star. Did not sit well with Morant. He did absolutely nothing pretty much the rest of the game, and you could see that he was just completely out of it at that point. He was sitting by himself on the end of the bench at times. He wasn't even looking at the coaching staff. And then after the game, there was another heated locker room argument there where Isolo again called him out, and Morant called back the coaching staff, and they said that they need to be better and did not like the fact that some of the substitutions were taking players out when they were hot, when the coaches left the locker room. Players came up to Morant, and we're supportive of him in most of the points that he brought up, and we're backing their star player, which causes even more questions about, has Isolo lost this locker room in Memphis? Is it repairable? Those are the questions that people are asking right now. But as far as John Morant goes, I have not heard anything suggesting that the Grizzlies are, A, making him available in trade talks, and B, they're not fielding calls for him at this time. There have been teams that have inquired about Morant and have asked about him, and they have been met with a firm no from Zach Kleiman that they are not making John Morant available. He has not requested a trade from Memphis, so we're kind of stuck in this purgatory state, Allen, of not really knowing what's going on with Memphis at this time. Are they just kind of saying that to see how things go leading up to the trade deadline before they make a final decision, or are they firmly saying that John Morant is their future, they still believe in him and Jaren Jackson Jr., and this is the direction that they're going? But as far as the Kings go, that's obviously a scenario that would make a lot of sense if John Morant was to be moved. Scott Perry has shown interest in John Morant previously before he took the Kings job, and there's always been talk about the Kings needing a point guard, which is ironic because they traded 2 all-star point guards over the last 3-4 years. But if you bring in John Morant, if he wants out of Memphis, and you're able to get him in a package that includes DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk and maybe a first-round pick or two, why wouldn't you do it if you're the Kings? Because you're taking a chance on a young, budding superstar point guard who he has dealt with some off-the-court drama, but there's no denying that through his first few years in this league, everybody was pegging John Morant to be one of the next faces of the NBA. And so if you're able to bring in a talent like that and kickstart your short rebuild, in quotes, I think it makes a lot of sense for the Kings. But there's multiple avenues this could go. Whether or not John Morant actually wants out is the big question at large. And there's still a lot of basketball yet to be played in Memphis. We just mentioned it with the Warriors, how there's a lot of basketball yet to be played and winning tiers all. Same thing with Memphis. Even though that they're just 4-8 right now, if they go on a little bit of a run, all this drama will kind of go away, and the focus will be on the fact that they're winning. So just really depends on how the next few weeks go and heading into the new year, what this team looks like, and if there's any more of these locker room interactions with Isolo and John Morant. But you also mentioned Zion Williamson, and that's an interesting situation with the New Orleans Pelicans in the Western Conference right now, where they're kind of sitting at the bottom of the standings, 2-8. We did reporting extensively at Clutch Point. It was myself and our Pelicans reporter, Chris Dodson, reporting that Willie Green is on the hot seat, that they have had internal conversations about moving on from Willie Green, even though Joe Dumars, when he was hired this offseason as the EVP of the organization, he came out and said that Willie Green will be the head coach. All the speculation that he was going to be fired after the team moved on from David Griffin, it was false. They fully believe in him. Well, 10 games into the season, those conversations are ongoing, and they currently face a game tonight against the Portland Trailblazers on their home floor. And there are heavy rumors coming out of New Orleans that if they lose this game and it is not close, then Willie Green will be potentially relieved of his duties ahead of 4 more games against prominent Western Conference teams like the Lakers, the Warriors, the Thunder, and the Nuggets, because Gail Benson, the owner, wants to steer the ship in the right way. She expects this team to be competitive. Granted, they've suffered injuries to Zion and to Jordan Poole early on in the season. DeJounte Murray potentially returning early 2026. They still believe that at full strength, this team can be competitive. And if Willie Green is deemed not the right guy to lead them in that direction, they will not be afraid to make a move after tonight's game. So that's really the update that we have coming out of New Orleans at this point. There will be more information on that, obviously, depending on how they play tonight and what things look like on the sideline, because I'll tell you this, Allen, the vibes have not been good in New Orleans. The players don't seem to look like that they respect Willie Green. He doesn't seem like that he's had the locker room dating back to last offseason. Zion Williamson, it doesn't look like really cares about what Willie Green tells him on the sidelines when he checks out a game. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, especially in tonight's game against the Portland Trailblazers.
Brett Siegel, one more for you. Talking to Brett Siegel, NBA insider, national NBA insider, and reporter for Clutch Points. Great stuff so far, Brett. One more before we get you out of here. You know, Brett, there were things said from a certain insider about how crazy this offseason was going to be, and it did not live up to its expectations. And some people like to have some jokes about that. I think some moves didn't get made. It was just moves that we already expected to be made. looking at what is going on, and yes, there is a mess in Sacramento, but there's a mess all over the place. I mean, there are a number of teams that just don't know what's going to happen, disgruntled stars, this, that, the other. Do you think that this trade deadline could have a level of movement that we haven't seen? Or is it just really early? A lot of people want stuff to talk about, just like myself. We have to talk about the Kings or whoever for 4 hours, and things are going to kind of cool off a little bit. And maybe you end with a DeRozan and I don't even know, a Zion level, somebody else getting moved. How do you think this NBA trade deadline could shake out? Because it seems like it's hot to trot right now, Brett.
You know, it's funny because I was just talking with a West executive about this last night about, hey, what's your early thoughts on the trade deadline? What is this going to look like? Because we're seeing some of the drama start with some of these teams. We've seen the struggles of teams like the Pelicans, the Kings in the West, and teams underperforming their expectations. What do you think it's going to look like? And the simple answer right now, and it's kind of dumb, but it's we don't know. And the reason for that is because there's no clear shot to getting star players anymore with the way that the CBA works. And with all the financial restrictions in place and teams trying to dump salary and avoid these apron lines, will a team be willing to do what the Phoenix Suns did and go all out with a big three and hard cap themselves in the second apron? Are teams willing to do that anymore? And it doesn't seem like that's the case. So now you're carrying one, maybe two big contracts and really filling out the rest of your roster with depth. So now we're going to see guys like DeMar DeRozan go from being a starter to maybe being a sixth man on a playoff team and being in different rotations. And that's what makes this trade deadline so unique, because teams are going to be targeting depth instead of stars. Whereas in the past, it was always, what is the big star on the market and how can we bring him in to pair him with our other star? That philosophy and that line of thinking doesn't exist for about 25, 26 teams in this league anymore. They're all focused on how can we surround our all-stars with the best capable talent to compete in a Western Conference that's run by a very young team that won a championship last year, not just because they had the MVP of the league, but because they could go 8, 9, 10, 11 guys deep in the playoffs and find success with all 10 or 11 of those guys. So that's kind of where my mind is at with the trade deadline right now. And that's why when you look at all these trade hypotheticals and you're trying to put stuff together and look at what teams can make moves, it's very hard to say right now because you don't know, A, what these teams are going to look like after the NBA Cup and after the new year passes, as well as, okay, what stars are actually going to become available and what roles, more importantly, are available around the league.
Brett Siegel, great stuff as always, my friend. We can't wait to have you back on again. I'm sure there will be plenty of reasons to do so. Be sure to check out all of Brett's work. It is outstanding on Clutch Points. There's a Laker AD story coming out that Brett was telling me about. Be sure to check that out. Follow him on social media. Brett, I'm sure we will be talking to you in the near future because things keep changing. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
You got it, Alan. I appreciate it. Thanks.
When we return, let's break down everything Brett had to say. Also, the Kings aren't the only team with issues. How can they take advantage? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Hawks.
Tip off at 7. Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
The Sactown Sports 49ers report is being brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco falls at home to LA on Sunday 42-26. Matt Stafford, a huge game for LA. He threw for 4 touchdown passes in the victory. For San Francisco, they fall 2 games back of LA now in the standings. LA and Seattle atop the division lead. Next up for San Francisco, they're in Arizona on Sunday.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Kohl's has 20% off gifts that are so good, your family might think you read their minds. Check off your list now with cozy, thoughtful, and stylish gifts that will make them say, "How did you know?" Yep, with these presents from Kohl's, you're going to leave them feeling impressed and convinced that you're a psychic. Shop Kohl's for an extra 20% off gifts that are the perfect fit. Select styles. Offer ends November 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Live and local
It's Allen Stiles
on Sactown Sports.
Great stuff from Brett Siegel. That'll be up on, if you're just now hopping in your car, dang it, I missed it. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on the brand new, or I should say refreshed Sactown Sports app. And, it was the same thing when we talked to John Dickinson, to JD. Let me be clear, okay? And I had to hop it because y'all were on me. He was talking about the Warriors and the Warriors' schedule. Now, it's not about who they're playing, okay? Because I don't think anybody could, and I haven't taken a look at the Tankathon, but to kick off the season, I know the Kings, the first 7 games of the season, had the hardest schedule. It's not about, because I saw y'all on the text line and the Sac chat, oh, boo-hoo, poor Warriors. They are old, number one, and that's on them. But number two, it's about the amount of games, okay? There's no way. They do not have tougher games than the Kings. No shot. But their whole thing is that they just had a ton of front-loaded back-to-backs. But again, hey, bleep them. I'm with you. But that was how Brett was kind of explaining all this. And he's giving us a look into whether Kuminga Watch is coming back. All right, so chill out, back off, okay? And we're taking you up to 2 p.m. Great stuff from Brett. I had to get him with that Sabonis trade. You knew I was going to do it. Ramsey, what are you shaking your head for?
I got a bunch of pushback for what he said.
About what? The DeRozan stuff?
The DeRozan stuff, for one.
Uh-huh.
And I want nothing to do with Ja Morant in Sacramento, California. Nothing. And it has nothing to do with his on-the-court play.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with off the court.
That's fair.
Meaning, yes, we know what Memphis is, but at the same time, those who know Sacramento, Ja Morant's going to end up in similar places as if he was in Sacramento in comparison to where he ends up at in Memphis.
The brother's like, what? Isn't he 27 now? You got to grow up at some point, right? You got a kid.
Have you ever heard of the famous line? You can take the homeboy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the homeboy.
Wasn't the whole thing that he's not really from the hood? Wasn't that the whole joke that he went to private school?
He wants to be from the hood and will find himself in the hood.
Look, man, I hear you. My whole thing with Ja Morant is on the court. The brother can't shoot or stay healthy. So I don't even really talk about the off the court stuff. If he is not going to skywalk anymore, as he was just quoted a week or so ago about not getting good foul calls and now he's not going to get to the rack as much, then what you don't defend, right? You don't shoot threes. Now you don't dunk on people. I feel like Office Space. What is it exactly that you do? That's my whole thing with Ja.
And he ain't got his 35 pieces of flair either.
That's my whole thing with Ja. So, the DeMar DeRozan thing, I don't know what's going to happen with DeMar. I do not know. I think, Ramsey, you might be on the side of feeling like he is undervalued, right? I started out that way, to be completely honest with you, going into the offseason, and I just got beat down. I just got beat down by so many people telling me that, hey, Al, the value is just not there for him. And that's when it turned into maybe part of the reason why he's still in Sacramento. But that's why yesterday I said it's going to get to a point where, depending on how the season goes, it's not about what you can get back for DeMar. It's about what you want out of the season, right? You don't necessarily need to get or wring out every little bit of value in a DeMar DeRozan trade like your Danny Ainge. It's, hey, we just want to open some things up. But they're not there yet. They better win tonight, Ramsey.
No, I don't think they're there yet either. Plus, in my opinion, DeMar DeRozan is your second best, if not best scorer at certain points in the game. And for what the Kings have, that's something you can't move off that value with it. You can't move off that at the moment. If you had other sufficient and efficient scorers, I could understand. But at the moment, you don't.
But you're not moving off of him. You're moving off of him knowing that. This is tank mode now. This is the T word.
And I don't speak that T word.
You're not moving off of him thinking that you're going to improve. Now, what you could say, Ramsey, is maybe, I'm going to just throw a name out there. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but maybe it's the end of the game now. And a Keegan Murray. I know people, Allen, he don't shoot. Stop it. I know his pops. We good people now, all right? I'm on the inside now. But maybe that's a Keegan. Hey, somebody got to step up. We know Malik has done it before. Could it be a Nick Clifford? So you don't have it, but you're working towards, could you build for it? But I get it. You do not want, we know Ramsey does not want, it is no rebuild Ramsey.
No.
Hashtag no rebuild Ramsey. That's who you are. So we get all that. And the reason I say that, because there are a lot of people that feel like you. And I like that representation on the show.
And we've been, and being from Sacramento and being through 41 seasons of Sacramento basketball, starting from when I was 4, almost 5 years old, starting on my parents' lap at the first Arc Arena that's now office buildings to what we got now, 32 to 33 of the years that we've had in Sacramento have been quote-unquote rebuilds and or quote-unquote tanks. So having something that is still competitive with Hall of Fame players on the floor is something I'd much rather have than for example, the Wizards, the Pelicans, the youth movement that Utah's trying to go to, even though they're figuring out a way to win games. I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I'd much rather, and I'll say it again, I'd much rather go into even like the Kings have done the past couple years. I have no issue with going if this team gets there to a play-in spot and having games to fight for in the middle of April. I have no problem with that.
I want to keep this going. But we do also need to discuss how the Kings aren't the only one in a mess. And we're going to hopefully make you feel a little bit better about the Kings. Hey, we're all in this together, just like High School Musical. Don't move. More Allen Stiles coming up.
The Kings play here, baby. Tonight, Kings and Hawks. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, tell me all about the Black Friday sales event.
Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Jeep Gladiator Sport S. Or, if that deal isn't good enough, lease one for as little as $189 a month for 36 months.
Ooh, my brother had one of these, and he absolutely loved it.
Most people who do love its versatility. But Hoblet is more than just Jeep. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter. We have over 220 vehicles waiting for you at HobletDodge.com.
Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$13,000 total net savings after $92.50 factory rebates and $37.50 dealer discounts. Rebates include $92.50 lease bonus cash. Must finance through Stellantis. Residency restrictions apply. $189 special lease with $19.95 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year, 30 cents per mile over for well-qualified buyers with 720 plus FICO score, plus tax, license fees, and dealer accessories. To get this net savings, VIN numbers 546328, 546330. See dealer for details.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
Staples presents an easy holiday.
My holiday list was a mile long.
Fa la 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 boo hoo hoo.
Staples made it easy with big savings on tech gifts.
I'm listening.
And I saved big on custom holiday cards, too. Plus, Staples has UPS shipping in store.
Holy flying reindeer. Shop Staples today for 40% off custom cards, invites, wrapping paper, labels, stamps, and photo gifts.
That was easy.
In-store and online expires 11/15. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767. Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Look, man, 12 o'clock, Ramsey said something to me during the break that really fascinated me because I hadn't thought about this. And I had an answer that I thought was very obvious. But then I looked at the numbers, and it's not as obvious. And we're going to go back, not too far back, in the time machine. And it's a little, who would you rather have? Okay? And I'm not going to tell you who the first player is, former Sacramento King, who, look, I do think there's a little bit of, now that he's not in Sacramento, people are appreciating him more, but he did get Wally pipped on a certain level. Now he is, I almost blew it. I almost said it, but now he is on a different team.
And he's in the system.
And he is playing well. So 12 o'clock, who would you rather have? Keon Ellis or blank? Some of you may be guessing who it is already, but it is a fascinating conversation. Okay? Now, all I'll say is Keon is a little bit younger, and he is a little bit bigger. But it's a fascinating conversation. I'll tell you that much. Okay, so that's coming up at 12, and I can't wait. I love the back and forth. So I cannot wait for 12 o'clock, okay? And we want you to be a part of the conversation too. 916-339-1140. How you feeling about the Kings? How you feeling about Doug and his pregame presser? Post-game, it was a lot of defense talk, and everybody says, you're talking about defense. Does it feel empty when Doug says, hey, man, we can score, we can do this, we can do that? By the way, the Kings, not a great net rating. They're 24th in offensive efficiency. So, Doug saying we don't need to worry about offense. We don't need to worry about offense. I mean, their offense ain't great, right? Their offense is not great right now. Okay, they're 24th in offensive rating. They are 27th in defensive rating, right? So I wouldn't say you don't need to worry about the offense. I think you got bucket getters, but that doesn't mean you have a cohesive offense. So we still have that to get to in the 12 o'clock hour after Ramsey and I argue about these two defensive guards, we will say. But I wanted to highlight this because everybody, and as Brett Siegel was talking, he was bringing up more teams than I thought, talking about the issues that are going around the NBA right now. Ramsey, let me know if I'm forgetting anyone, okay? Kings aren't the only one dealing with issues already 11 games into the season. I got the Warriors, right? They're mad at somebody, They got Jimmy and Draymond. I didn't even read the quotes. Draymond was saying that you have to make the personal agenda work in the team confines.
He was talking about a personal agenda. Anthony Slater asked him a question in OKC last night.
Yeah.
You can go from there.
If it doesn't work, then you kind of got to get rid of your personal agenda, or eventually the agenda is the cause of someone getting rid of you. We're 11 games into the season. Okay, Jimmy said that players need to sacrifice for the greater good of the team. So that's the Warriors. The Magic, there's a growing disconnect between Paolo Banchero and head coach Jamal Mosley, and it is raising concerns within the Magic organization. The Mavs are a complete disaster.
Bye-bye, Nico.
The Nets are tanking, but they're stuck with Michael Porter Jr. And, man, I feel really bad for Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann, and I know all, and look, relatively speaking, they're all millionaires, but what Terrence Mann doing out there? What's the Terrence Mann doing out there in Brooklyn, dude? Get him out of there.
Terrence Mann out here catching strays when I thought he had a role and was actually a great fit with the Clippers.
I thought so, too. So now he's stuck in Brooklyn with 19-year-olds and Michael Porter Jr. He don't deserve that.
And Cam Thomas, when he plays, when he doesn't play, when he's healthy, when he's not healthy.
Yeah.
The enigma that is Cam Thomas.
So when they're actually getting a break with him being injured, because when Cam Thomas comes back in, that's 3 guys in your lineup that you really don't care about as far as your future is concerned. But Jordy wants to play them because Jordy's job is to win games. That's a mess out there.
And Cam Thomas, to me, honestly, might be the biggest black hole in the NBA. When he touches the ball, you may not see it back again.
I saw that thing, you probably saw it too, with Austin Rivers kind of defending Cam, just saying, hey, I thought we liked scores. It's a scoring league. And I felt Austin Rivers a decent bit on what he was saying. But that is the label with Cam Thomas being that black hole. The Lakers are winning. But I would say we know that there's drama coming with LeBron at some point.
You mean South Bay Lakers LeBron James?
Yeah. We know, and it's coming. And he's getting cleared for workouts. He's on his way. The Clippers, we talked about before, 3-7, losers of 5 straight. They just have a lot going on, what their rotations are. They're and we've said this before with Kyle, they are the unction. They are just a better version of the Kings. They fit a little bit better. They're also older, but they're kind of in a position where they have talent, but does it fit? And it might be too early to tell, but you got Brook Lopez, who people have been roasting Brook Lopez. John Collins is starting, not starting. He was a chucker in Utah. Now he's kind of just, I don't know what you want me to do here type deal.
That's because he could chuck in Utah.
Yeah. So I think the Clippers are just a better version of the Kings.
You had me think when you just started saying that. I'm not comparing these two. Not saying one's better than the other. You got Sabonis starting, Zubac starting, and then you got Drew Eubanks as a backup, who was just in L.A. And like you said, Brook Lopez.
Yep. It's pretty similar, but then, of course, when healthy, you got Kawhi at the top. You got James Harden at the top. Both of those guys, you could fit Zach LaVine in where you want to, but yeah, it's pretty similar stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that the Clippers might have a few more that the Kings don't have are wings.
And well, yeah, I mean, Derrick Jones Jr., if the Kings, that's all De'Aaron wanted.
When he was available, I said take airplane mode in a heartbeat.
Look, I'm not going to name names because we cannot live in the past, but there were conversations and there were people in Sacramento that thought Derrick Jones Jr. was just too limited, right? He couldn't do enough. And look, I know he's not extremely young, but to me, the same as the Nickeil. I think he's more athletic than Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Who may or may not play tonight.
I think he's just in the middle of a Jaden McDaniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's Derrick Jones Jr.
That, and I don't think a lot of people are familiar with his game either.
I think they just see him dunking, and he makes some threes, but he also misses threes, and that's all it kind of comes up to. By the way, he's 28 years old. He's 28 years old. He went to UNLV, and I thought he would have been a good fit.
And I mean, personally, I know I have a family friend, someone I know. that their son played with him in professional basketball. I'll just say it like that.
Yeah, there you go.
And they spoke very highly of Derrick Jones Jr.
Grizzlies and Ja, we've talked about that time and time again, so that's on the list. And then you have the Pelicans. There's always something going on with the Pelicans, and they don't have their pick. They gave that up for Derek Queen. So that's 7 teams off the top of my head. And then you throw in the Kings. That's 8 teams that are dealing with stuff. I didn't even count the Suns.
And you didn't count another team that's probably the most unfortunate, irrelevant team that's in our nation's capital, too.
The Wizards.
The Wizards.
I get and you know what's funny? I guess they're doing. You have to start someone, so they're starting Middleton, bless them, and C.J. McCollum, bless them, and they're gonna, I guess, try to move them. So we haven't heard anything. That's why I didn't include them. They kind of know what they're doing, but yeah, the Suns could easily be on this list. So look, man,
the Wizards are still trying to play Marvin Bagley III.
They are. So look, man.
In some way, somehow, our other former Sacramento King, Rashawn Holmes, is buried in Washington.
Fear not, Kings fans. You ain't the only one. You are not the only one. Might not make you feel better, but at least we're all in this together. All 10 teams that are complete disasters right now. When we return, let's take a quick trip. Let's call it a way back Wednesday. Who would you rather have, Keon Ellis or this former Kings point guard? This sounds crazy until you look at the numbers. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Hawks.
Tip off at 7. Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
When the Kings light up the court, Sacramento lights up the night, and it all leads to Revival at the Sawyer. All November long, show your Sactown Sports app and enjoy buy one, get one half-off beverages. From pregame anticipation to postgame celebration, Revival is the rooftop for true fans with elevated views, unbeatable energy, and that signature Sacramento spirit that connects us all. Revival at the Sawyer, where the city and the team both rise. Reserve your table table today at revivalsacramento.com. Offer valid once per visit per person.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Taking you up to 2 p.m., 2 hours down, 2 to go. And it's the tail of the tape a little bit. And this isn't a real fair tail of the tape because when talking about Keon, the question is always going to come up, well, Keon should be playing more. And, you know, obviously his numbers aren't going to stack up the same way as somebody else's. And Keon's a couple years younger than the comparison. So this is what I have for you. You have Keon, who is at 164 games on his career, 6.5 points, 2.2 total rebounds, 1.3 assists, 47.8 field goal percentage, 43% from three-point range, 79% from the free throw line. He's 25 years old. He's almost 26. He'll be 26 in January. He goes 6'4", even though Basketball Reference insists on saying that he's 6'6". And we know what Keon brings to the table. Real 3-and-D. He is a two-guard, okay? He can guard guards. He is a two-guard. The other player, 312 games on his career. He's 27 years old, just turned 27 not too long ago, back in September. 7.6 points per game. 1.8 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, 44% from the field, 34.5% from three, 68% from the free throw line. And this season, he is balling out, 9.4 points per game in 11 games, 2.7 rebounds per game, 7.6 assists per game, 48.8% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, 53.3% from the free throw line, and he goes 6'2". Again, this is Basketball Reference. I think it's more about 6 foot. And there you have it. If you haven't guessed already, Ramsey and I were just having a nice conversation, and the name that he brought up was Davion Mitchell. Ramsey said, Allen, I think I'd rather have Davion Mitchell on this team right now than Keon Ellis. Now, this is a complicated question that we're about to get into because it's a question of ceiling, right? One guy's a little bit younger. One guy has shown a little bit more. One guy's a little bit bigger. One guy has gotten more opportunities. And if you remember not too long ago, Keon Ellis slid in there because with De'Aaron Fox injured out there in Houston, where De'Aaron's from, they were looking for some guard play. Didn't feel like Davion Mitchell was up to snuff. They had him in situations before as the backup point guard, and just felt like he was a little bit stagnant. So my first thought was obviously I'd want Keon Ellis, but I'm wondering now, am I saying Keon Ellis based on the ceiling? And if I think about Keon's ceiling, do I actually believe that Keon's ceiling is higher than Davion Mitchell's? Davion Mitchell is playing 30 minutes a game. He's starting. The Heat, they're 7-4. And I don't think that Keon would ever be that from a point guard position. Defensively, I think this is the biggest kicker, right? Because Keon is obviously longer than Davion, but how much better of a defender is Keon than Davion? Deep down, I think it's close. And when you bring up Davion's playmaking, Keon is a better shooter, but Davion is going to shoot more and give you more. So, looking back on, and we can go all the way back to his time in Sacramento. Obviously, that fluctuated, but Davion has had some nights where he has balled out. In the past, he's flourished. He's averaging the most points of his career since his rookie season back in 2021, 2022 with the Kings. So, yeah, I don't know, Ramsey. I don't want to take the easy way out and say it's apples to oranges, because it's not apples to oranges. They're both guards. But when you said it to me, I'm thinking really hard, and I don't know if I would rather have Davion on this team based on what they've done right now. Because they have Westbrook, because they have Schroeder, I think that Keon fits a better need, even if he is going to, I guess, score less and play less minutes. So that's why I don't want to have a cop-out as I tease this, and we were supposed to argue. But the more I think about it, the more it's really hard to evaluate.
I get what you're saying, where it's slightly hard to evaluate because they technically are two different players, because Davion, to me, is a true point guard. Mm-hmm. He can initiate offense. He can get you into offense. He can bring the ball up, which unfortunately Keon has shown that I don't know if he's that comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. But defensively, they're very similar. Keon just happens to be a few inches taller.
Yeah.
I think they have about the same type of hand speed on the defensive end. Davion at the moment, one of the stats you didn't even bring up, he's averaging a steal and a half a game as well, which to be defensive, you need to be handsy and have your hands in the passing lanes, not just steals, but deflections as well, which is something Davion does, which is something Keon does. I personally felt his time in Sacramento ended unceremoniously due to, in part, a former head coach that's no longer here, that, in my opinion, I don't know how much faith or confidence he had in Davion. I like Davion when he came out of college at Baylor, right, after winning the chip. And he showed you what, not just himself, but their team showed you what they could do when they clamped Gonzaga in that national championship game. They put the clamps on Gonzaga and locked them up when everybody, especially after Jalen Suggs.
That was the Jalen Suggs jump on the table.
After Jalen Suggs hit the game winner in the semifinal game, there were a lot of people, including myself, that thought this might be Gonzaga's year. Mm-hmm. Davion, his dude, Butler, that's in Washington. Jared Butler's in Washington. Mm-hmm. Another said, no, y'all must have forgot. We're Baylor from Waco, Texas. We play defense. And once we play defense, we get out and run. And that's what he showed. Did he get a chance to do a lot of that in Sacramento? Maybe yes, maybe no. But now Davion, again, as we say, is in one of the systems that no one argues with. Mm-hmm. As they call it, Heat culture. He's a starting point guard for the Miami Heat. Spoelstra has allowed him to expand his wings a little bit with him being the starting point guard, with him getting 30 30-plus minutes a game, not just this season, but he found his way into the starting role at the end of last season as well with Miami, and they've embraced him. He's done what he's done what he can. Like you said, they're 7-4. It's Miami. Sometimes players flourish better in other systems. That might be the case with Davion. I just don't feel he got the full or fair shake here in Sacramento, especially with a former head coach.
I think that's fair. As you were laying everything out, I guess the middle ground would be the best versions that they would be based on the archetype and types of players that they are. Davion can't really do Davion doesn't shoot well enough to be what we think Keon Ellis is going to be, and Keon doesn't handle the basketball well enough to be what I think people believe Davion Mitchell could be or what he's doing right now.
Very true. And there's sidebar, this could be a conversation for another day. I brought this up with other people here at the station. In terms of Keon, there's one player that I could truly compare Keon Ellis to that's on the defending champion, Oklahoma City Thunder, and that's Cason Wallace.
Yeah.
I think if you put Keon Ellis in the Cason Wallace role, OKC, he would flourish. If you put Cason Wallace here in Sacramento, would he be the Cason Wallace that he is in OKC, or would he potentially be similar, if not a little better, than what Keon has showed us here in Sacramento?
Right. Would he be the guy that would he be, or I would say even Isaiah Joe? Would they be guys where, Doug is saying, hey, they're going to get time when they get time?
And to me, Isaiah Joe in my opinion, Isaiah Joe isn't the proper comparison in the fact that I think Isaiah Joe is a much better shooter than Keon.
Yeah.
Especially because outside of the first two games the Kings have played, Isaiah Joe has been a Kings killer. If you look for someone one of the, as we say, the others, most of the time, that's one of the first people I circle on the scouting report when the Kings play OKC is Isaiah Joe, because he's been known to shoot the lights out against the Kings.
Yeah. So it was interesting when you brought it up because that was a name drop. And look, I was the person. There were graphics made where it was the Kings. They've moved on from 3 elite point guards. And I thought, okay, it's a little much to say 3 elite point guards and throw Davion in there with Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox. But what's up, Ramsey?
I just saw something as I looked over my shoulder that doesn't apply to the Kings, but it applies to one of the teams we were just talking about in the teams that have drama. Bradley Beal of the Los Angeles Clippers is out for the rest of the season with a fractured hip.
Wow. That's crazy. Out for the rest of the season.
Perk was just talking about it on NBA Today.
I'm seeing here from Sham 7 minutes ago, Los Angeles Clippers guard Bradley Beal has a fracture in his hip and will undergo season-ending surgery, sources tell ESPN. We met with numerous doctors and specialists around the country in collaboration with the entire Clippers medical staff over the last few days and came to the decision unanimously that the surgery will allow Bradley to have a full and complete recovery. Well, look, and adding to the Clippers mess, look, the Clippers, they did get that deal because he got bought out, right? But that was supposed to be their infinity stone to add. This is a new. I'm not even gonna front. Is this a new Bradley Beal injury? He did that this season.
I'm pretty sure. And in my opinion, the games I've seen him play, he didn't look right. Now this explains why he didn't look right.
When is the last time he looked right, though? Ramsey, I don't know when's the last. I'm not even kidding. I don't know when's the last time I saw Bradley Beal really cook since he's been since he left Washington.
Probably, I'd say honestly 2024, because even his last year that he had with the Wizards before the whole buyout and the year in Phoenix, that's probably the last time he looked right, in my opinion. And I've been one, especially seeing things of Bradley Beal outside of just the basketball floor. I got respect for that dude. He, as they say, he got it out the mud in St. Louis, but I feel for him, and all I got to say is get well soon.
So now if you're the Clippers and people are already saying, would the Clippers want a Dennis Schroeder or somebody like that? I don't think, this is Charles on the Sack Chat, I don't think they need a point guard because they got James Harden, right? I don't know if Bradley Beal was going to be coming off the bench or not. I have no clue. He played, 2 games with the Clippers? I'm assuming he started, but I will say, I will give you this, Charles. Ramsey, you know where we're going with this. John Collins, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Draper, get on the phone. He's on the show every day anyway, even though he's moved on. Get Kyle Draper's guy to Sacramento. Somebody else, Div, is saying Levine to the Clippers. I don't think. Look, what was it called? Asperian. What was it called? The tree place. They're gonna pay Zach Levine's contract. Look, Derrick Jones Jr. I'll take Derrick. We were just talking about him. Derrick Jones Jr., DeMar DeRozan, send him home. It is time to send him home. It's the right thing to do, people. I got the Fanspo open right now, Ramsey. I'm not even playing around. So Kawhi is making $50 each year over the next 2 years. It's basically a 2-year plan for the Clippers. Kawhi on a 2-year plan. James Harden on a 2-year plan. Derrick Jones has 2 more years as well. And you got to wonder, hey, if these are the guys that they really have no option but to continue to dive into it because it's now or never, right? Brook Lopez, they signed him for 2 years with $8 million a year each. Bradley Beal, that was just $5 million a year. It was a crazy deal. I mean, you thought you were going to get away with it, right? It's kind of like, and I'm not making a joke, but it's kind of like if you got a good deal on something and there's kind of a reason that you got a good deal on something, and then you think, man, I thought I got over on this person, right? If it's a car or whatever it is, and, that's kind of how it turned out. Zubac, they're not going to move Zubac, but I am looking. John Collins making $26.5. He's expiring. Okay, so he is expiring. He's at 26.5. DeMar is at 24.7. He's got 2 years, but it's not fully guaranteed. If they think they just need more scoring, because John Collins is kind of a do-it-all guy, I don't know. I think they'd probably say we'd rather have John Collins and keep the size, but they got to figure out how this thing works. And Derrick Jones Jr., the problem is he's only making $10 a year. But value-wise, I would take Derrick Jones Jr. He is 28, so when it comes to the rebuilding thing or restarting, what we spent so much time talking about yesterday with the Kings, you're not giving up Derrick Jones Jr. and another $10 million contract for DeMar DeRozan. I know you might do it, Ramsey, because you got that value on DeMar, but I don't think the Clippers are doing it.
I don't see the Clippers doing that. And another Sacramento King that I touched on for a minute earlier. Let's see if he can get back fully healthy. They still got Bogdanović as well. And I don't know if he's fully healthy. Do you slide him to the 2? Or is he now considered a 3?
Though? Are you talking about on the? I'm talking about on the Clippers.
I'm not talking about here.
You might not have a choice.
Yeah, you might not have a choice. And CP3, like I said, he's now out the rotation, but might work his way back in the rotation because Bradley Beal's now out for the season. And I don't know what that leads. I mean, we do notice with the Clippers, unfortunately, year after year after year, they deal with the litmus of injuries. Mm-hmm. And I'll just say I have someone that I live with that follows the Clippers, and we go back and forth, and even she hasn't really had a chance to follow the Clippers as much this year, but she can attest to what I'm talking about with year after year after year. And it's not just Kawhi. It's not just Kawhi that has dealt with injuries on that Clippers team. I mean, we're talking Bradley Beal. When Paul George was there, Paul George dealt with injuries. Mm-hmm. They've had other nagging injuries. And the one person that you said, I know they're not going to move off of because, honestly, he might be top of the scouting report for him, and I'm not referring to James Harden, is Ivica Zubac. They found something with Zubac.
Yeah,
and they're not looking to move off that whatsoever.
I can't believe that I missed this. And I got this slated. Look, it's always the Raptors fanatic, the logical Raptors fanatic that just loves to be in our Sac Chat, and we love them for being in it. I think it's quite obvious, Ramsey. I mean, if you look at who Bradley Beal is, now, obviously this guy's making more than Bradley Beal, but it's a similar situation. You would get off the contract, and I don't say that in a disrespectful way, but you would. You could do, I mean, Bradley Beal is still on contract. Obviously, he's about to get surgery and he's out. But the way I'm looking at it, Ramsey, and maybe this, again, as I'm saying this out loud, maybe the value is off. But at this point, if I'm the Kings, I'm saying, look, we don't even know when this brother Bradley Beal is going to play again. We'll do Derrick Jones Jr. and Bradley Beal for Malik Monk. We'll do that. And if you need Devin, then we'll do Devin. To me, look, I know Bradley Beal name-wise, a Clipper fan, your roommate, you might be like, hey, that ain't enough. But we don't know when Bradley Beal is going to play again. His value is completely shot. He is worth his contract at this point at $10 million for 2 years. So now would they want to look, Derrick Jones Jr. defensively, I think the reason they might do it, you still got Batum, and I like Batum, he's just 36, but Batum is 6'8" and can shoot the three ball. But you got Chris Dunn to defend, you got Batum to defend. They probably are going to need more offense because John Collins is a weird offensive player. You're not going to say, hey, John, go get me 20. And they
got somebody else that I feel hasn't got a fair shake since he's been on the roster that I'm not saying I would take a chance or as they call it, a flyer on it, but we still don't know what Kobe Brown is. Kobe Brown, I mean, I saw Kobe Brown here a couple years ago when Missouri played in the tournament at Golden One Center, and he was that dude. He was the number one dude for the Missouri Tigers. I know he hasn't gotten that much of a chance with the Clippers since he's been on the roster, but that's a young talent. I think he's 6'7", 6'8".
6'7", 25 years old, power forward.
Can play a little defense. I know his foot speed might not be the greatest for that position, but as you would say, he's a body. He's 6'7", 6'8", about a good 230, 240. He can shoot a little bit. He can shoot the corner three. I mean, if you gave him a chance to flourish, who knows what he could be? I'm not saying he's going to be a star, but he could be a viable NBA player and be fit a role and be a viable NBA role player. And that's what a lot of people are in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I think based on when you get Kawhi back, you get Malik Monk coming off that bench, and Derrick Jones Jr., we know who he is. He's 3-and-D. He's gotten better offensively, but I would have to do that deal if I'm the Kings. The only reason I wouldn't, and maybe this is if you're trying to keep that thing going, right? This is not a rebuilding move because Derrick Jones is 28 years old. But if you do want to keep that thing going and just make the lineup make a little bit more sense, look, he's only 6'5", so Keegan would probably still play the 4, but it would be a more defensive-focused lineup. He could help out. He stretches the floor with his three-point shooting ability, and then obviously the Clippers are getting a little bit of defense. And then if you want, you could say, hey, we're going to free Devin. Y'all need to get younger. So free Devin.
And you wouldn't ask for no more than 10 to 12 points a game out of Derrick Jones Jr. on the offensive side anyways.
You wouldn't. So and I'm saying Derrick Jones Jr. might not be able to play 4. They're running Russell Westbrook at the 4. So I mean, Derrick Jones Jr. to me, you got Precious out there. Who would you rather at the 4? Here's a good question. Who would you rather at the 4? I know he's only 6'5", 210. Would you rather Derrick Jones Jr. at the 4 or Precious Achiuwa? Because again,
Precious
this is
only because of size.
See, I don't know. I don't know.
Derrick Jones is.
I know. He
Derrick
looks
Jones
like,
isn't the size to play power forward. The 210, and he's wiry. He's long.
I get you.
He's wiry and long. He doesn't have the size for many of the power forward. For example, would you put Derrick Jones at power forward last night against Aaron Gordon? Would you put
but that's just one game or two games or 3 games because they play.
Would you put Derrick Jones Sunday night at power forward against Julius Randle?
Look, you keep Precious on the team for these situations.
I'm just asking the matchup question. Would you put?
I would not. No, I would not.
So therefore, that's why I said he's not a power forward.
But we're having similar different conversations about the same thing.
Would you allow Derrick Jones Jr. to guard Jalen Johnson tonight?
Yes, I would.
I think Jalen Johnson overpowers him.
So you got Precious starting again tonight?
That I don't know for the way that Atlanta lineup matches up. Because the one oddity for me that they picked up in the offseason in that lineup, honestly, I still don't know what Kristaps Porzingis does for Atlanta. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't understand what he does. Mm-hmm. I may have to see it with my own eyes tonight in person.
Yeah.
But I don't understand where that fit is.
That's just been Kristaps Porzingis to me, period.
Yeah, very true.
You know, he's just been he's a good player in theory.
Yeah, and he's a 7-footer that never wants to go in the post. He wants to live 22 feet out and further.
Yeah, well, we have that new news. Thank you, Ramsey. As Bradley Beal out for the season. Yes, the Clippers only got him for that $5 million a year, but they're not going to get that good deal this season as he will not be playing. When we return, you'll never guess who checked in on Ja Morant. No, it wasn't the Kings. Or was it? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Kings play here, baby. Tonight, Kings and Hawks. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Staples presents An Easy Holiday.
Running a small business during the holidays is hard.
No truer words were...
But this year, Staples helped me have an easy holiday.
Your script has a typo.
Nope, easy peasy. I just ordered online at staples.com and picked up in store. And with UPS on site, shipping was easy too. Plus, huge savings on tech, custom cards, even my holiday sales signage.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com today for up to 45% off select laptops.
That was easy.
Ends 12/27.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. We are 30 minutes away from giving away a pair of Matt Rife tickets, comedian, newly announced Stay Golden World Tour. So newly announced that these tickets aren't on sale yet. So you could win one of the first pairs of tickets to see comedian Matt Rife at Golden One Center, October 11th, 2026.
Who is this dude?
A comedian.
I ain't never heard of him before in my life.
He's a pretty big comedian. I mean, he's doing Golden One Center. There's just, it's funny because now I know back in the day it was, you get a HBO or whatever your special is. There are so many platforms now that, somebody could have a whole big career and it could completely, not you specifically, Ramsey, but a lot of people. Right? Just because there's so many platforms that if you don't fall, I know there are people, that's me in the streamer thing, right? These, and I know, I might have aged out, but these streamers, I remember I'll go on SportsCenter or wherever on Bleacher Report and they'll say, I Show Speed does something. And I'm thinking, I'm going to the comments. This is a couple years ago now. But I'm going to the comments looking for everybody else to say, why are you posting this? Who is this nobody? And everybody knows who this person is besides me. So this was a couple years ago.
I'm still in the same boat with these streamers myself because I don't do a lot of social media, so I don't know I don't even know, barely even know who you're talking about.
So, look, man, Matt Rife, he's a big deal. And just wait, Ramsey, 1 o'clock come around, those phone lines, they'll be popping.
He might not be my demographic or my form of comedy, so that's why I may not know him.
That is quite possible.
And I can admit that.
Hey, you know what? And I like that because some people will say, especially with comedy, music, you could even say food, right? Some people will say, hey, this person isn't good. Is this person not good? Or is this person not something that you enjoy? Even in this business. Right? I'm not going to pretend like everybody likes me. You go on Instagram and you'll see people post and that guy's still there, right? People, that's fine, right? Now, does that mean I'm bad at my job or does that mean that you just don't like how I do my job, right? And you look at the 3 shows that we have with Carmichael, Dave, Jason Ross, my show, and the Drive Guys. Those are 3 completely different shows. So the idea And I know that we have a lot of P0s that listen all throughout the day, and trust me, we appreciate you. And we got to deal with ratings. It's part of it. It's like sales. Your sales matter, ratings matter for us, and sales matter for us as well. So we appreciate that. But there's some people that are going to say, Allen's more my cup of tea than the morning show, or the morning show's more my cup of tea than the afternoon show. But that doesn't mean that somebody isn't good. So I appreciate that, Ramsey, because the music too. This person stinks, right? This person isn't good. You might not like that type of music, but it's all subjective.
And as the kids say, it's just not my bag.
Yeah.
So I can admit that.
And you can admit that.
I have no issue. That's why I said the dude we're giving tickets for, he's not my bag. I've never heard of him, but I'm not saying he's not good.
There you go.
I just don't know what his subject matter is and what he talks about.
There you go. So as we're talking about that, people are spicy. Let me just say this. Don't think just because Doug got up there last night, said his name is Douglas Dale Christie, got everybody in a spicy mood, okay? Ramsey and I having a nice conversation about the tickets we're giving away for 3 minutes. And somebody on the Sac chat, Torsha Jackson, Brett said we got news on Ja, and we start talking about Matt Rife. Y'all need to this is what Ramsey, see, and now they got me going. This is why I'm saying, can you just play the young guys tonight? I think everybody needs a little mental break from what we've seen, because then if they lose tonight, Ramsey, it's me and you for the rest of the week. I'm saying people are on edge. This is what Carmichael Dave said when somebody joked and said that Carmichael Dave reported that the Kings are looking at Nico Harrison, and Dave got in trouble because it went viral, and Dave never said it, and Dave said, hey, hey man, not cool, and the person said, sorry, Dave. Dave said, can you delete it? And the person just left him on red, and Dave said, people are on edge. Everybody's on edge right now, Ramsey. What are we, 3 weeks into? Ramsey, I'm looking. What are we, 3 weeks into the season?
I got one line for you. If for those listening and those on YouTube don't understand it, that's fine. You almost getting your Ving Rhames baby boy on.
I'm just saying.
That's all that is. I can't quote what he said, but you're getting your Ving Rhames baby boy on.
I'm just saying, Ramsey. I think I do declare right now. I think Domantas Sabonis and his rib, Zach LaVine and his back, and DeMar DeRozan and just being DeMar DeRozan, just give him a night off.
No.
Give him a night off,
no.
Ramsey.
No, you're trying to win basketball games.
Sure.
I'm not giving them a night. If they can go, they can go.
You're not throwing in the towel. I think everybody just needs a nice, when you're eating sushi, you eat some of the ginger to fresh the palate cleanser. I'm telling you, Ramsey, we got Doug calling out haters, banging on the table.
What you're asking for was last Wednesday night.
What with the Warriors?
Yes.
That's only that's one of their only 3 wins.
But I'm not asking for that, because we need to see them compete. We need to see them win. And if you look at the standings,
okay,
as bad as what we're talking about, as bad as this may look, they're only at the moment being really an eighth of the way through the season, with 12% of the way through the season. They're only a game behind Utah for the 10th spot.
That's what we doing.
You got to start. You got to start somewhere.
I have never seen somebody so committed to keep the train rolling, if you will, to the non-rebuild as Ramsey.
Again, I've dealt with this for 41 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with this since I was 4, almost 5 years old. I've dealt with the Joe Kleins, the Purvis Ellisons, the four first-round draft picks in 1 year, and Lionel Simmons, Travis Mays, Anthony Bonner, Dwayne Coswell. I've dealt with the Thomas Robinsons.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with Beno Udrih. I could keep going down the list. I've dealt with a lot of this. So if they're still in competition, show me. Show me. It's there. There's too much talent on this roster for them not to be competitive. This roster is not, for example, like the Pelicans.
No, but
like the Nets.
But,
like the Wizards.
What about the fit conversation?
I understand that part. A lot of these pieces, like that song when you grew up that we grew up with when you were a kid. One of these pieces just doesn't belong here. One of these pieces just isn't kind of the same. It's kind of the same. I get it, but how do you maneuver, or where do you make the move to do that? Right here, right now, because you can't.
But I do have it. You just don't like it. And we're going to talk about that. And we still got Ja, but we had to pause on Ja and who checked in because everybody is yelling right now. And I had to tell everybody to take a breather. So we will get to Ja and we will get to the path of least resistance that you don't want to do, but you got to give up something. More Allen Stiles Show coming up next.
Tonight, Kings and Hawks.
Tip off at 7. Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
The year was 1948. The Sacramento Symphony was founded. Harry Truman was president, and Jerry Mathers from Leave It to Beaver was born. And Walter Keyes opened his first Naturewood home furnishing store 77 years ago on 25th and Broadway. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. All those many years ago, the Keyes family promised integrity and quality in serving families just like yours and mine. Near as I can tell, Walter would have been pretty proud to know that those same values are evident today at Naturewood Home Furnishings. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings. Furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their Veterans Day Save the Tax sale and get started making your own brand of memories. The Keyes family would love to hear them. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The mildest summer in 30 years has left AC makers with overstock and far below their sales targets. Your chance for huge savings. Sierra Pacific's partnership with top manufacturers mean exclusive discounts to clear inventory fast. Get premium systems installed flawlessly by friendly pros with ironclad warranties and great discounts with SMUD rebates. Plus, HVAC's tax credits expire December 31st. Call for your complimentary proposal. Visit SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
No payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's right, no payments until February 2026. Find them online at SacSuperstore.com, and they're centrally located right across from Hayden Oaks Golf Course. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Comedian Matt Rife, a year from now, a little less than a year from now, October 11th, 2026. They're not even on sale yet, but you can be one of the first to get them giving them away all week long. 916-339-1140. That's coming up at 1 o'clock. So if you are listening on the new and improved app, be sure to switch on over, probably right now, to make sure you don't miss it, because we're a little bit delayed on there. At least we typically are. And we will have that opportunity for you. That is coming up in 15 minutes. And we got caught up in a conversation about different tastes in music and food and sports that lasted about 3 minutes. That it was 3 minutes too long. People want to know who checked in on Ja Morant. Was it the Kings? It was a Western Conference team, but it was not the Sacramento Kings. This is from Sirius XM. And they said that they're testing the waters a little bit. I don't get the sense that there's anything real close. I do think that if we get to late December and the Wolves are still treading water and that point guard position still has not solidified, I do think they could explore at least looking harder at Ja Morant. Well, to me, this is something that is obviously not going away because the Timberwolves don't have a point guard. I mean, I don't know what is going on, and that's from John Krasinski, who covers the Timberwolves. He said it on NBA TV Sirius XM radio as well. They don't have a point guard. They clearly don't think that Rob Dillingham is ready. So I don't know how this thing goes in any direction. We've just had this conversation with Malik Monk last season. They're trying to do it with Dante DiVincenzo, and I would argue that Malik Monk is closer to a point guard than Dante DiVincenzo. So unless Rob Dillingham, who I don't even know how many minutes he's playing a game, just randomly figures it out, I don't know how the T-Wolves, quote-unquote, figure out this point guard position unless they just decide we're just not going to address it. Unless they just start winning games and they feel like they don't need to address it. But, the T-Wolves have already checked in. Whether or not they get more serious about it, that's what we're waiting to see. But they've already checked in on this, and I'm not surprised. There's another name, Ramsey, that's getting thrown around now. He just signed. It's a 3-year deal, but you got Kyrie Irving, who's obviously not back yet. Kyrie, the Photoshop that I saw was Kyrie reuniting with KD in Houston, which I think would be crazy.
You said in Houston?
In Houston. I think that would be crazy. But Kyrie, to me, is not a true point guard either.
Kyrie in Houston would stunt the growth of that team, in my opinion.
I think KD's already I think they're just trying to win now.
Yeah, exactly. Most definitely, especially with Ime.
I think they're just trying to win now. And they got Reed Shepherd, who I think has been better than Rob Dillingham, but neither of them are getting the keys anytime. They're not even getting a permit.
No, and what's ironic, speaking of Minnesota, I know they're slowly weaning off of him, but they still got Mike Conley.
They still have Mike Conley. Yes.
And I'd take Mike Conley over a lot of point guards in the NBA.
Yeah. They still have Mike Conley. So, the Kyrie thing is going to be interesting, and based on when he's able to return, how that all goes. Ja Morant, and I think Kyrie is more of the sure thing, if you will.
And you got me thinking about somebody else on that roster. I seen some footage last night. Not talking about Kyrie, but his name still starts with a K. Klay Thompson in Dallas. I seen some footage that was like that.
What you talking about, Ramsey?
That there were former NBA players saying Klay might just need to hang it up and go off in the sunset with his chick Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do because he's already won at life. But basketball wise, might be fried. Might be fried, brother.
And the footage that they showed, I don't. And I'm not a Klay Thompson fan, but I don't recognize that Klay Thompson.
When Klay bricks,
yeah,
he's gonna brick. He is going to brick.
He wasn't even bricking. The shots I saw were going off the glass, off the wrong side of the glass.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. You got to know. You got to know when it's. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when it's time to walk away.
Yeah,
and this is not how it was supposed to end for Klay.
No,
that Luka thing. I mean, he might have gotten burned the most out of that Luka thing, just based on the decision he made. He's supposed to stun on the Warriors, and then he gets to be a part of this circus now, and that's where he's at.
And they were talking about how he didn't want to come off the bench in the Bay. You're coming off the bench now in Dallas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he thought he had a little bit more left in the tank at that point in time. So, there are a lot of moves, and that's why when we were talking to Brett Siegel, and that's up on YouTube now if you missed it, the offseason may not have had as many bangers, if you will, but what's going on during the season, and I know it always seems like there's a lot that's going to happen, and then there's not, but I do think this might be more active than in years past because certain teams are just kind of fed up, if you will. Certain teams are just kind of fed up with, where their situation is and what is going to be the next thing for them or what is going to be the next volume of them, volume 1, volume 2, the next scene, right? My buddy likes to roast me whenever I say a joke that's not funny. He'll say, next slide, please, right? And a lot of people might be feeling like that. If you are a Pelicans fan, next slide, please. And they're still going to get DeJounte Murray back, okay? But next slide, please, on Zion. Next slide, please, on Ja. Next slide, please, on some of these Kings players as well. So that might just be what it's at.
And in my opinion, moves don't have to be that superstar. You don't have to get the franchise superstar move. If you make the right move to get the right pieces, the role players, that'll push you further ahead than trying to hit the one big swing, trying to hit the home run. As we say, if you hit singles and doubles, that'll get you home as fast, if not faster, than hitting a home run.
Well, I think it turns into it would have to be the opposite, right? A team that's playing pretty well but doesn't have that. I think that would be and I know they're going to get Dame back. But honestly, that might be and I'm not saying Ja, I'm not giving a name, whether it's Ja, Zion, whoever, and as much as I like Denny, I don't know that he's the star. That might be a Portland Trailblazer move. We have the pieces. We are the dude away, right? I don't know. I'm not saying that's
in
Ja
Portland,
Morant.
Honestly, I mean, they're competing right now.
No, I know, but it's the Houston Rockets thing. Then they went and got KD. So Portland's probably going to be the Houston. I don't know if they're going to be the 2 seed because the Rockets got KD, but Portland is going to be that team where we say, man, Denny's really good. Maybe he takes another leap, but if he doesn't, they probably need another star out there. They probably need somebody else to hey, we need a bucket. And they're going to get Dame. I just don't know at 36 off of Achilles what Dame is going to be.
Yeah. I mean, another team I was thinking of in the East, but They said I would say they might need another dude. The other dude they might need is still coming back from injury is the Bulls. Mm-hmm. And the dude I'm thinking of that they might need is Kobe White. He hasn't played yet.
Right, and he's got that calf thing that's not great. No. But you look at these teams, that's a good point, though. These teams that you think are going to be sellers, right? Vucevic, they're probably going to move off of him. Kobe White, and then you look up and, we're the 5 seed. We should be buying. And who do you want to go out and make a move on? I mean, Zion in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulls won 6 of their first 7. Granted, they've lost 3 in a row, but they're still 6-4.
Yeah, they're Zion in Chicago.
And tonight they're matched up potentially with a team that people, I don't want to say sleeping on, but this team might come out the East in the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
I mean, that Detroit Pistons team, maybe you figured it out. Granted, Cade, I got love for you, dog, but 46 points on 45 shots.
Hey, man, I'm in. You won.
They won, but not 45 shots. 14 to 45.
Somebody
got 46.
I wish Zach LaVine would take 45 shots.
Zach LaVine would score more than 46 points if he took 45 shots.
Do it tonight.
He's a more efficient shooter than Cade Cunningham.
Do it tonight. I need it tonight. When we return, we will discuss the most realistic move for the Kings and how that might just be enough this season. We also have the Kings-Hawks preview, who is going to match up on who, and updates with the injury report. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Hawks.
Tip off at 7, your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends, and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, tell me what's going on for the big Black Friday sales event.
Well, they say you got to finish strong, so that's what we're doing at Hoblet. Right now, you can save up to $14,500 off MSRP on all remaining new 2025 Ram heavy duties.
I want to make sure you meant to say all heavy duties.
That's what I said. $14,500 off MSRP on all remaining new 2025 Ram heavy duties, with some starting as low as $48,995. It's savings like this that make Hoblet one of the top Ram dealers in America. Plus, with over 400 new heavy-duty Rams available, your new Ram is waiting at HoblettDodge.com.
Don't miss your chance to search, select, and save at HoblettDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
14,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Laramie and Rebels after 4,500 factory rebates and 10,000 dealer discounts. 5 of this net savings, 48,995 net price on 2025 Ram 2500 tradesmans. Rebates include 2,000 select inventory cash, 500 on the job upfit for eligible upfit. VIN number 525142. See dealer for details.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports 1140.
Home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and hopeful.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
It's about that time. You know what time it is. Time for your chance to see comedian Matt Rife bring his newly announced Stay Golden Tour to Golden One Center October 11th, 2026. Be the first to win a pair of tickets to see comedian Matt Rife. And we're looking for caller number.
We've been talking about him all day. Zach LaVine. What's his jersey number? Caller number 8.
Caller number 8. Got to time it out. Caller number 8. Caller number 8. Caller number 8. We're looking for caller number 8 at 916-339-1140 to win one of the first pairs of tickets to see comedian Matt Rife at Golden One Center on October 11th, 2026. That's caller number 8, caller number Ocho at 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. So, being the midday show, sometimes towards the end of the show, we will get updates and, we're sitting here refreshing, but it can be close as far as injury reports are concerned. Nothing quite yet, all right? And you know what I'm looking for. You know why I'm here. You know what I'm looking for. The Kings giving the big three a night off. That's what I'm looking for. Much to Ramsey's chagrin, that's what I'm looking for. The Kings giving a couple guys a night off and seeing what the young Kings can do as far as the game tonight, taking on a young Hawks team. So the Hawks, they're not playing with Trae Young. Trae Young has been out, and they have, they're sitting at 5, or not 5-5. What are they right now? They are sitting at 6-5. They're sitting at 6-5. Okay, as we look at who they have wins over and who they have lost to kick off the season. They got smacked. This was when the Raptors were good for like a week, and they had the best offense in the NBA. They got smacked. They lost by 20 to the Raptors, and Trae Young was playing at that point in time. So they got smacked by the Raptors. All right, then they beat the Magic 111-107. They lost by 17 to the Hawks. They lost by 5 to the Bulls. They beat the Nets by 5. They beat what's left of the Pacers by 20. They lost to the Cavs. They beat the Magic again. They lost to the Hawks again. So a couple trends here. They beat the Lakers by 20. That was the game, I believe, Luka played, but I don't think Austin Reeves did. Yeah, Austin Reeves did not play. Bronny James did, though, 9 points in 18 minutes. And last but not least, and most recently, Jalen Johnson going off for 16, Reece Sachet 11, Kristaps Porzingis 20, and Vit Krejci had 28, and Onyeka Okongwu with 10. So that was on Monday, and now they are taking on the Sacramento Kings. So it'll be a good test for the Kings. All right, a couple guys, obviously know Keegan Murray, and the Hawks playing without, of course, Trae Young. So the Hawks continue to get a look at life without Trae Young. He will be facing a major contract decision. He has an ongoing injury. He sprained his MCL. That was against the Brooklyn Nets, okay? So that is where the Hawks are at. As far as matchups, we can just base it off of what the Hawks did and who they put out there against the Clippers when they got that W. Based on matchups, yeah, we just talked about this, and Ramsey has our winner. We will give you 2 more chances to win Matt Rife tickets before the week ends, 1 o'clock each and every day until the end of the week. So don't miss out on your chances. But, yeah, you get Jalen Johnson. Zachary Sachet is actually, this is a big problem, Ramsey. This is a big team. This is a big team, man. You get Jalen Johnson, okay? So there's Jalen Johnson who he's 23 years old. He's 6'8", all right? Zachary Sachet, ain't he a 7? So he's 6'8". I thought he was a 7-footer. He's 6'8". He's only 20. Jalen Johnson's 23. Kristaps Porzingis playing in one of his 40 games on the season. He's 7'2". So you got 2 6'8ers, a 7'2" guy, and then you get their small guard in Dyson Daniels, who's 6'7".
Yeah, Dyson Daniels is a good 6'6", 6'7".
I'm being sarcastic. And last but not least, there you go, Keaton Wallace at 6'3", the average height of the Kings guards.
And Keaton Wallace plays defense.
This is a problem tonight. This is a problem. Okay? These guys are long, they're young, they're hungry.
And don't allow their bench, which includes who we talked about earlier, Vit Krejci, who went 9 of 13 and was 8 of 10 from 3 against the Clippers on Monday night for a career-high 28 points to go off. Or don't allow, I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago, a man that led the league in three-point percentage in the NBA, and Luke Kennard to get hot and go off as well.
That could be a problem. That could be a problem. He's coming off the bench. He had 7 against the Clippers, but that's the type of guy that you want to keep an eye on when you're playing a team that does not have a good three-point defense. Of course, they are 27th in defensive efficiency. All right, they are 24th in offensive efficiency. It's kind of a mess. It's still early, but it's kind of a mess with the Kings right now. And at some point, this is a younger team, right? You either have a team that, hey, this team has more legs and they're younger, or, oh, we're playing another experienced team just like us, like the Nuggets, if you will. I mean, which team are you going to match up well against? So let's look at it based on who the Kings could put out there. And you see Jalen Johnson, we just read off the heights. So I don't know. Let's start here, Ramsey, the elephant in the room. He did not close out the game. Is it time? Not is it time to bench Dennis Schroeder? That's a different question. Do you think Dennis Schroeder starts tonight? Do you think tonight is the first night where Dennis Schroeder does not start on the Sacramento Kings?
Potentially, because you may try to ease the risk and ease him back into the game to get his confidence back up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you're giving up on Dennis Schroeder. You just want to rebuild his confidence, especially as what we quoted, what he said after Sunday night's game against Minnesota, to shout out Sean Cunningham, KTRA Channel 3, who's been a friend of the program. He came and told him he wasn't feeling comfortable. When you got someone saying that's not feeling comfortable, you either got to ease up off the gas pedal or find a different role for them to build their confidence back up. Not saying you're giving up on the man, because you're not. You just need to get him re-engaged, get him reinvigorated, build his confidence back up, because you're going to need him.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, find a way to build his confidence back up. If it's in a potential to what we consider a quote-unquote lesser role coming off the bench, that's fine. But if not, we'll see what's up.
Well, I think what's weird about that situation is, I'm going to go baseball, but if you have a 3-hitter, right, and Jay's walking in, so Jay knows what this is about. If you have a 3-hitter, right, and I know now 2-hitter is the new 3-hitter, but your best hitter, okay? 2, wherever they normally hit.
2-hitter now, like you said.
If the 2-hitter is struggling and struggling bad, right, however many games into the season, if you drop them to 6, does that help or hurt their confidence? So that's what I'm saying with Dennis Schroeder. Does benching him help or hurt his ability to feel comfortable? I don't know.
And I was going to use that same analogy. You drop the 2-hitter to the 6-hitter so they can revive and re-energize themselves, and then you move them back up to 2.
Or do they turn back more into a head case and say, dang, I lost my spot. Now I get it. We talk about high school ball. You ain't getting paid $15 million a year.
No.
So it's a little bit different. But I don't know if sitting, if benching Dennis Schroeder, is that going to, when I hear comfortable, Ramsey, that sounds like I need to play more. But he's not playing well. So you can't keep playing him if he's not playing well. To me, it sounds
like, the comfort part is not playing more. It's he needs to find himself within this team and figure out what his role is on this team. That's what I took from it, personally. I mean, we could have a difference in opinion. We could be comparing apples to oranges, but
I don't know what it is.
I don't either, but that's what I inferred from what I heard.
Yeah.
And we're two different people. We could infer and hear two different things.
Okay.
And that's perfectly fine.
So, personally, unless they do what I want them to do and sit the big 3, which they probably won't do, I think that Russ starts tonight. I do. I think Russ starts tonight, point guard, that 2-guard position, and does anything else change? This is where it gets a little bit dicey, if you will. Yeah, I think it'll just be Zach LaVine again. And look, I'm going to tell you this much. Zach LaVine didn't seem like he wanted any parts of Christian Brown. That brother better hope that DeMar go off and they put Dyson Daniels on DeMar, because he's not going to want any type of smoke with Dyson Daniels. Zero. Okay? We saw Dyson Daniels lock up De'Aaron last season at home in Sacramento. So
Dyson Daniels basically won that game on his own.
Yeah.
By putting the clamps on De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron was still on the Kings roster.
So you put him there. Kristaps Porzingis, sure. Domantas Sabonis, have fun. Zachary Reese-Sachet seems like another Precious Achiuwa night.
Yeah, and touching back real quick to Dyson Daniels, led the league in steals last year with 3 steals a game, and is currently the NBA steals leader with 2.4 steals per game in the first 11 games of the season.
Jalen Johnson isn't a slouch defensively, and he'll be matched up with DeMar DeRozan. I honestly, Ramsey, I think that on defense, they will put DeMar on Dyson Daniels. That's what I think they'll do defensively. Now, do I think that Jalen Johnson and Zach LaVine is a great matchup? No, but I think Zach LaVine has shown us a little bit more defensively right now, and they switch everything. But
this is a prime example. I don't want to bring this up, but I'm going to. This is a prime example in a perfect game where you wish you had Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
You'd slide Keegan Murray right on to Jalen Johnson and move on with life.
And look, that's the one thing to keep in mind as, Doug is being evaluated. You're missing a dog. I mean, look, the Hawks are missing Trae Young, and size-wise, that doesn't hurt them, but in everything else that Trae Young brings to the table, it does. Yeah, look, I'm never going to be afraid of starting Nick Clifford if you wanted to start him. But the problem is, I mean, you're giving up. I mean, this goes back to the DeMar DeRozan thing, because you're not going to if you sit, fine, you start Neek instead of Precious Achiuwa, you just got smaller. If anything, you would not start DeMar this game. And that's what I've always said. The quickest way, and Ramsey doesn't want to hear it, but the quickest way to keep this train rolling is to open things up a bit by moving off of DeMar DeRozan. That's the quickest way.
You just had me look up some stuff when you said start Neek Clifford. He gives up maybe 4 or 5 inches and about 20 pounds to Jalen Johnson if you slid him on there. And Jalen Johnson, for those that haven't really watched him, when he gets rolling, he's a freight train, and he will take your head off and doesn't care.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm saying I'm saying size out the window. I trust Neek Clifford to defend, honestly, any of these guys more than DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, I'm not defensively. I'm not saying that, but I'm not moving off. I'm not moving DeMar DeRozan out the starting lineup, though.
No, you're not doing it tonight.
I wouldn't do a period.
I know you wouldn't do a period.
No.
But something might be done, period. I know you're not going to do it right now. But, yeah, this is a shady, not even a shady. This is, I mean, they're 6-5. The Kings have 3 wins. So, and I got to tell you this, Ramsey, I haven't hit up the misses yet, but I kind of want to be in the building tonight. You know, I've been taking a step back with the little one, but I kind of want to be in the building tonight because off a back-to-back, it was a respectable game against the Thunder. It wasn't against the Thunder, but against the Nuggets, don't get me wrong. But let me freeze right there. Would you call last night? We gave them a pass because of the Thunder being the Thunder. We all agree that the Timberwolves, that was bad. That was bad. What are we doing with last night where they played well until the 4th, and it was different to the other games where they played the Nuggets well and then kind of blew it?
It's called the Nuggets went on a run in the 4th quarter, and the Kings had nothing to overcome it because the Kings were down. The Kings were down by 1.
But it was they've done this before. The Nuggets always do this. But this one, Ramsey, was a bad run.
Yeah,
it was a bad run.
I think it was like a 21-5 run to start the 4th quarter, and Jamal Murray had like 10 of it, all 10 of his 4th quarter points within that run, and it was glaring because, as we said before, he was cooking Keon within that run.
Yeah. So that as much as I say, hey, they kind of did their thing yesterday and the Nuggets are going to nugget and it's Jokic, it just feels like there are a lot of excuses, right? And it's easy to find excuse. I'm not saying Doug is making excuses, right? Douglas Dale, Christie. I'm not saying he is, but it's the Thunder, they're the champs. It's Anthony Edwards. They went to the Western Conference Final. It's the Nuggets. They got Jokic. Well, every night there's going to be something. They get an Eastern Conference team today, and all these brothers 6'8".
And I'm going back to those other 2 games we just talked about with the Thunder and Minnesota. I'm not making no excuses. That Thunder game, I know we touched on it before, touched on it again. Y'all, yourself and Kyle were talking about who's going to be the other to torch the Kings. That was Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Had a career high in points and was 1 rebound away from tying his career high in rebounds, and you had no answer for that. Sunday night against Minnesota, you were slightly still in the game battling with them. Then you let Anthony Edwards see a shot go in, and he went from no points in the first quarter to 26, and they had another go off in Jalen McDaniels, who got to rolling once he saw shots go in. He ended up, I believe, with 21 points. And Rudy Gobert, I think, ended up with either 19 or 20 and 12 on Sunday night. So it's not just the stars. You got to stop the others. You can't let the others
They can't stop anybody, Ramsey. They can't stop anybody.
I understand.
They can't stop anybody. Let's talk second unit. And they gave. Here's the thing. Let's talk second unit. Just like I said, they gave that great energy, we just talked about. I know it's the starting lineup versus the backups for the Hawks, but that second unit they're going to try their darndest, but my guess is, Ramsey, they will be undersized again.
I mean, I'll be honest. Last night, if you want to talk about second units, the Kings' second unit outplayed Denver's second unit, hands down.
No, they did. The bench points were, they almost doubled Denver's bench points. If not, they did double. But you got Mohamed Gueye. He's 6'10", 23 years old, out of Senegal. He's coming off the bench for the Hawks. You got Luke Kennard, Vit Krejci, who's 6'8", okay? Luke Kennard, what is Luke Kennard? Now he's going to be, he's 6'5", all right.
But
that's still one of the taller.
But all he wants to do is shoot. And you said Mohamed Gay is how it's pronounced according to Basketball Reference.
Okay.
He was a teammate of Jalen Green in Napa at Prolific Prep.
And then last but not least, Onyeka Okongwu, 6'10". So you're going to run that second unit, and they're not going to get a rebound. That's why it's hard to evaluate Doug, because that second unit did give life, but the average height is 6'5", and then Eubanks. That's it.
Yeah, and Okongwu will date back to, I'll quote, high school. I believe teammate of LaMelo Ball at Chino Hills.
Yeah. So this is going to be a tough one, man. I might need to make some calls. I might need to be in the building.
Atlanta has been in the recent past a very odd and potentially, I don't want to use the word difficult, but a very odd matchup for the Kings. And why you would think or you would fathom in your head or on paper, the Kings match up well against Atlanta. Quoting the man that just retired, Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's crazy, and I know he really goes 6'5", but Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I'm reading he's questionable. Do we have an update on that, or is it still just questionable? With a back, he's a defensive dog. He's another 3-and-D guy. So if he plays, somehow they're getting shorter if he plays, which is insane. But, yeah, the Kings, this is no walk in the park. I know when teams are bad for a while, and I know the Hawks are always a playing team. I know when teams are bad for a while, it's hard to get used to them being good eventually. But, yeah, the Hawks, they're 6-5. They don't know what's going to happen with Trae Young because they've been playing pretty well, even with Trae Young being out since October. So that is where that kind of lands as far as the matchups are concerned. The three-point stuff, the Kings are trying to shoot more, and DeMar DeRozan had a decent night shooting the three ball. He hit 2 of 6. So the Kings are trying to shoot more, but it's just really tough to be bad at defending the three ball. And look, we're not even talking about being ice cold each and every game. They're just not a team that's getting up enough.
No, but to your point, talking about DeMar, I don't need him. I don't want DeMar DeRozan shooting 6 threes.
Somebody got to,
but that's not DeMar DeRozan's game. I know who I would like to see shoot more threes. We've talked about him all day. I got love for him. We need him to pick up his shot production. Is Zach LaVine? Shoot the three.
Yeah,
that's what you do outside of now what you've done in your previously in career where you were explosive and took the ball to the rack, which you still do, and potentially took somebody's head off. But I need you to shoot threes. If you get up 10 threes, Zach, I'm not mad at you, sir.
No.
Go 4 of 10, 5 of 10 for 3. I have no issue with that. Get some threes up, sir.
He's taking 7.8 a game.
I need more.
On average. And it's crazy because 10 games, 23.9 points per game, it's still at 42% from 3 and shooting nearly 8 threes a game does not feel like enough.
No, I need more, especially because one of your, we'll bring his name up again, because one of your other three-point shooters that you rely on isn't in the lineup, in Keegan Murray.
Right. Once Keegan comes back, obviously they will shoot more. I still don't know if it will be enough, but their defense will get better as well. and they can go from there. Let's keep the conversation going. What can happen tonight? I am going to guess the spread because Ramsey already knows the spread. We have a fair or foul to get to, as well as Major League Baseball gave both managers, I shouldn't say gave, but two managers earned back-to-back Manager of the Year titles, respectively. And I don't know that I like that. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Kings play here, baby. Tonight, Kings and Hawks. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Right now at Maida Subaru, get 2 season passes to Sierra at Tahoe with purchase or lease of any new Maida Subaru. Plus great Maida Subaru savings on every new Subaru. Learn more at maidasubaru.com.
Ends 1/2/26.
It's taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino. With 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations that include SR Prime Steakhouse, 32 Brews, Dragon Boat, and The Market. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience the height of hospitality. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We have hit the Dirty 30, the last 30 minutes of the show, and we've been on track today. Besides when we were talking about Matt Rife and different types of music and food that you might like, we've been on track today. So the Dirty 30 is not going to be that dirty. We are pretty much on schedule today with all of our segments and things like that. So we will take you up to 2 p.m. and the Drive Guys Gotcha after us. I saw this, and we are going to discuss Major League Baseball, and the awards are coming out once again. Shout out to Nick Kurtz, the 14th player in the AL to win, to be voted unanimously as the Rookie of the Year. I heard Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross talking a little A's baseball when I was driving in, and that's always nice to hear, man. Look, they're going to be good hitting the baseball. Pitching-wise, we got to see what they go out and get, and some of their other young prospects on the way up. But they can hit, and you never know what could happen when you can hit the bleep out of the ball. But I got this from Kimberly from the 916, going back to the Zach LaVine stuff. And she says, going back to Zach LaVine needing to shoot more, this is a good point. Why can't they just run multiple screens for Zach like they do for Steph? I just don't think he wants that. You know, he likes to do a little bit of boogieing. He's not Steph, number one. But, yeah, I don't think Zach LaVine wants to run around all game and run through multiple screens. That's not really who he's been. I don't know that there's been a conversation, hey, we need to get you more shots. It just doesn't seem like they're running enough for him, period. And, you know, it goes between Doug not running enough and Zach LaVine, him banging on the table saying, hey, I need more shots. It just is not happening. At least not right now. And speaking of shots, yeah, he's taking 16 a game. 16 a game. Okay? And that to me is, I'm looking here as to who is, and it's so early right now, so it's hard to kind of pull these numbers, but I would assume that's decent, right? I would assume that's, on the higher end. It just doesn't feel like it's happening when you need it to happen. That's the thing with Zach LaVine, and that's kind of been, unfortunately, that's been the mantra for Zach LaVine. Hey, he's not doing enough, or when we need him, he's not there, and that's how it felt last night. I'm not even going to lie to you, right? That's how it felt last night. I'm looking here. Okay, here we go. 25, 26 field goal attempts. Okay, so most field goal attempts, you got. Let's see here. You got Tyrese Maxey, number one at 22.6. Cade Cunningham at 22.1. So based on that, you got a bunch of guys at 16. So Zach LaVine is, he's like number 20. He's like tied for 20th at 16 shots per game. That's not bad, right? He's getting them up, and DeMar DeRozan's right there beneath him at 16. But on a team like this, it's more so about the games. He has not played he didn't play well in either of the Denver Nugget games. Maybe Christian Brown just has his number. Maybe it's that simple. Maybe Christian Braun just got him locked up. So when you look at this, when you look at the numbers, there's a bunch of guys, like the first set, about 3 guys that are above 20, Tyrese, Cade, and Shea. And then you got 5 guys that are in the 20s. So now you're at, that's the top 7. And then you have the next set at 19, where you have 4 guys at 19. And then, so that puts you at the top 15, if you will, and so on and so forth. So he's right there at top 20, maybe right outside the top 20, top 25, if you will. So, that's something. All right, Ramsey has the injury report. Was I right?
Unfortunately, you might get the wish you wanted.
Really?
Yes. Zach LaVine out with a right thigh contusion.
I told you.
Malik Monk questionable. With left ankle soreness. Domantas Sabonis again questionable with the ribcage contusion. And the injury report for the Hawks again, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is still questionable with the back spasms. And the other person that is of substance to their lineup, Trae Young, as we all know, out with the MCL sprain, and he may be out for the rest of the 2025 calendar year.
Yeah. So thigh contusion, that's like a Charlie horse pretty much, right? He's got a knee in the thigh, probably, Zach LaVine. So, I said what I said last night. Maybe he wasn't healthy. Maybe that happened during the game and he finished out the game.
It could have, and potentially could, and I don't recall it. Could have happened against Minnesota.
Sure. Could have happened against Minnesota.
And with this being the second night to back-to-back, he went out and did what he could against Denver, and unfortunately he fought through it, which he fought through the first Denver game as well with the back issue.
Yes, he did. That was his first game back after missing a game, so a little bit of bad luck there. So no Zach LaVine tonight. We'll see what happens with Domantas Sabonis. I'm telling you, look, it's going to be...
And Malik is questionable too.
Yeah. And what is the Malik?
Left ankle soreness.
Okay. So... might be a different version of my wish. DeMar is just DeMar.
And you may get your wish of Neat Clifford starting tonight.
Yeah. See, look, man. See?
You may get that wish if Doug doesn't divert and move Dennis Schroeder to the bench. You might get a Brody. Mm-hmm. You might get a Brody and Neat Clifford in the starting lineup with DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
And potentially Sabonis and maybe Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah, this will be interesting. And now we have that information. Thank you, Ramsey. Look, this isn't really what I said. I said maybe it's time for a little mental break for the Kings. Just let some of the young guys cook. And maybe that is what's happening. I mean, a thigh contusion, I think it's a pain tolerance thing. So maybe, hey, Zach, you're back. You came back from your back. Now you got your thigh. Let's let you chill a little bit.
It's a pain tolerance thing, but also it constrict. It can. I've never dealt with it of this nature, but I know it can constrict movement as well, especially with that being his dominant leg and his push off leg. If he can't get any push, can't get any explosion.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, man, and I know it's kind of been the word that's been out on Zach LaVine, but it looked weird yesterday. Last night, it just looked like he was not engaged, and now we know, or we don't know for a fact, but it was something he was dealing with last night. So
potentially, and that's why I said it potentially could have happened against Minnesota on Sunday. I personally don't recall. Mm-hmm. I didn't notice anything, but again, a lot of these injuries that we see, we may not notice anything until after the game or something of that nature.
So real quick, wanted to get to this, and the injury report came out, so now we're going to have to, as soon as I said the 30-30 hasn't been too dirty, now we're going to have to scooch a little bit, but I did want to get to this because Ramsey and I were discussing it during the break. MLB managers both winning Manager of the Year in back-to-back years. It's a little fair or foul for us. What the Guardians' Stephen Vogt and the Brewers' Pat Murphy accomplished with the acclaim they received from the BBWAA in Manager of the Year results revealed Tuesday night on MLB Network was really rare. Not only did these two Central champs double the all-time number of managers to win the award in back-to-back years, but they've both done it in their first 2 full seasons on the job, an unprecedented achievement. So Ramsey, fair or foul? This isn't something that we see in other sports. Obviously, there's one coach of the year in NBA and so on and so forth, the NFL. What did you think when you saw both of these guys went back-to-back?
Perfectly fair. Pat Murphy, and I got a personal story. I actually tried out for Pat Murphy when I was at Arizona State and he was still managing the Sun Devils.
Oh, dang.
Perfectly, and this was 25 plus years ago. He was still at ASU. But yeah, perfectly fair. I mean, Pat Murphy led the Milwaukee Brewers, because this is a regular season award, to the best record in Major League Baseball with that Milwaukee Brewers team. And with the pieces that Stephen Vogt has in Cleveland, I mean, he led that team, and the way they fought to get that division championship was something very, very extraordinary. Being I think it was 10 back with like 15 games to go, came back, fought, overtook the Tigers, won the division, did what he had to do with, in my opinion, we can agree to disagree, I think the Cleveland Guardians have probably one of, if not the most underrated baseball player in all of Major League Baseball, Jose Ramirez. That man is consistent. That man is a dog. If I had to start a team and needed a third baseman, I'm starting a team with Josie.
Hey, I like Jose Ramirez. Unfortunately, he's on my ban list, okay, for my league that I have. But I know he's a baller, and he's weirdly undersized but has weird pop and steals bags and plays third, and he's a switch hitter. It doesn't make sense, and just nobody talks about him. But we did have that conversation about John Schneider, and the word on the street is that the Blue Jays getting treated like the Sacramento Kings, in that when you play for the Blue Jays, you don't get the same notice that you would get on other teams.
I get it, and I have nothing but love and respect for John Schneider. I had the privilege of having conversations with him while they were here in Sacramento. That man answers every question, gives you all the time necessary, answers the questions thoroughly. I've got nothing but respect, not just for John Schneider, but for that entire Toronto Blue Jays organization, starting with the front office people that they had travel here, down to John Schneider, down to their players. And I don't want to use the word sad, but I was disappointed they couldn't find a way to get over the hump and win one game at home to bring the chip to Canada.
Yeah, so they go back-to-back, just something that does not happen in other sports. I think that should have went to John Schneider. It's a better argument, like you said, Ramsey, as far as the Brewers are concerned. But I would also say that the Cubs and Craig Counsell, people didn't really see them doing what they did either. But
I did, but not in this capacity, because, I mean, granted, I'm a Cubs fan, so I felt that they were going to be good. I didn't realize they were going to be this good, but still.
I'm just saying. I'm going to let other people eat. All right, we're going to let some other people eat on the other side. We still have to guess the spread, and we still have Prop Talk and Dog segment. I see Kayla Anderson in there. I know Whitey's in there. Is it you two? It's the two of them taking you up to game night, getting you ready for Kings Hawks. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Hawks.
Tip off at 7. Your exclusive home for Kings basketball
is Sactown Sports 1140.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some nights just call for something better, a place above the noise, where the skyline glows and the energy feels effortless. That place is Revival at the Sawyer, Sacramento's rooftop escape. All November long, show your Sactown Sports app and enjoy buy one, get one half off beverages. Whether it's golden hour with friends or late night laughter under the city lights, Revival's the place to see and the place to be seen. Revival at the Sawyer, the view, the vibe, the moment. Reserve your table at revivalsacramento.com. Offer valid once per visit per person.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. All you gotta do is put a drink.
Eric Church is back and bringing his unforgettable live show to Sacramento. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour with special guest Charles Wesley Godwin. Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour. Live at Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
It's Black Friday sale time at Big O Tires. Get the tires you want for less. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Pirelli, and more. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Big O branded tires. Hurry, sale ends December 7th. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
One more segment with you, Kayla Anderson and Whitey Gleason. In the building.
Have you apologized to Doug Christie yet? Clearly,
me.
Clearly,
I mean, gosh, he was targeting you, Allen.
I wasn't talking about me.
Wasn't it weird though? Like you hear him specifically. He was probably pointing at some people, but then afterwards he was like, "No, I mean, I wasn't pointing at anyone directly." But it was hard to imagine that it wasn't some people in particular that got him aggregated.
All I said earlier is Doug did this job, so he knows what comes with the gig, right?
Yeah.
So whatever line, I would assume it's not me or whoever saying, why aren't you running more plays for Zach LaVine?
Exactly.
Or, Dennis Schroeder is playing too much. Sounds like something got said, and yesterday was, I know Carmichael Dave was getting tagged because of all the blowing up stuff, but that's kind of that's not to say that Doug wouldn't be the coach during the blow up. He's not saying that. And, we always say you can only make a meal with the ingredients that are in the fridge, and Doug's fridge is short on a couple ingredients. So I don't
Some
think
of those
it was
ingredients
anything.
might also be past their best by date.
That's
I
also
was going
true.
to say they might be spoiled.
That's also true. You check and you say, you smell the milk. Maybe we can make it work, and that's literally what it was at. That's literally what it was at. So now tonight, that Zach LaVine was going to be out. I've been saying it all day long. Give the big three a big rest. That's what I want. I don't know. Obviously, DeMar is just probably refusing to not play, but that's fine. If you want to give Sabonis a rest and just let Russ, DeRozan, the LA boys.
Why do you think? I heard you saying that. I listen all the time. But why do you think that? Why do you think that's a good idea?
You're calling out. You feel like you got to call out the haters. He was talking about being lockstep with the organization. This is game 11. There's a lot. People are on edge.
But how does sitting people down help any of that?
I just think it's a feel-good situation where, hey, let's see Neek take 20 shots, let's see Keon take 20 shots, and if you lose, you lose. But you kind of said, you know what? This is it's like a mental health break.
Yeah.
Right? Like a mental health day, right? They used to have those in tech, and they ain't got those in the radio business, but they got them in tech.
I was going to say,
right?
they don't have them in TV and radio.
We used to have, every Friday used to be like a mental health Friday.
Nice.
Where, there was, first it started, it went backwards, right? So in the summer, they were called Summer Fridays.
Okay.
So every Friday you would have off. First summer, okay?
Gosh.
Second summer, then it turned into no meetings on Friday, okay? Then next summer, you're going to work.
Oh, okay. So it kind of went backwards.
It didn't last for long,
right.
but those were some joyous occasions. What's coming up on the show today, Whitey?
Kyle Draper joins us today for Drape's Takes.
This guy.
See? Now he's here full
What
time.
deal is he on?
Stevie Johnson today. Bowling
Okay.
with Stevie. And Jerry Reynolds is going to join us as well.
Wow, that's
Jerry Reynolds, who was name checked by Doug Christie last night.
That is, that's right. That is
and of course Kayla.
That's right. That is quite the list. But I'm not getting. Kayla, I guess you spoke about it a little bit. But Whitey, what did you think about the pregame?
About Doug?
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what he was trying to accomplish or who he was talking to.
Sound like he got disrespected.
Yeah.
Or somebody got disrespected.
Or he felt,
He felt disrespected. I mean, obviously, you don't want to hear. I mean, Dave got aggregated everywhere. So let's not pretend like Doug didn't see it.
No, I don't think that at any.
No, I don't think.
I think it was from maybe
but
some of
Doug
the
saw
comments.
it. I'm sure he saw it. I think there was probably something else going on too. But yeah, it was.
I was actually
spicy.
wondering if it was the piece in The Defector. Did you see that?
I saw it. I
but then
started
I thought,
to read it, but
nah,
didn't fully read it.
yeah,
but
I mean, that
again,
was
that's
brutal.
all upper, right? That's not really Doug. That's not a
Well,
day-to-day on Doug. I didn't read it though.
It said the coach doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
that could trigger you.
No, it would trigger me.
Yeah.
It would. It would. I don't really check the text line or anything like that. I just kind of let people be.
At some point, you have to. Because if you read everything that goes under social media, you're going to drive yourself absolutely crazy.
No, I would never do that.
That's why he's like that.
No, I would never do
Alan,
that.
you never, that's right.
I just let it, my mom said, just be a duck, let it roll,
Let it
off,
roll
your
off
back.
your back,
That's right.
yeah.
I don't really check.
All those old sayings.
Oh, let me see. Oh, the text line, it's up. I don't really check too much. It's not a big deal.
Oh, Brett Siegel, sorry, I can't talk about the Warriors anymore. I'm getting blown up on the text line.
And
I got to
Westbrook.
change the subject.
They were tripping. Everybody was like, what is this? This is what happens when you get a guy from the Bay. This is what happened. Give me a break. All right? I know you hit your limit with the Warriors talk. When it was all connected to the Kings and Kuminga Watch,
Sure.
I'm trying to reignite Kuminga Watch, but somebody chimes in, right, eating their sandwich and chips. Why is this? Why is this guy talking Warriors?
Busted in on Brett Siegel's answer like an official calling a false start, blowing your whistle like, stop the play, stop the play.
Hey, because he's very plugged in with the Warriors, and I asked, and we got our answer. And hey, what's going on here? I thought this was Sacramento, not the Bay. This is what happens when you hire somebody from the Bay. All right, Ramsey,
That's what they sounded like.
Yeah.
Let's get to a little bit of prop talk here. And go from there. Oh, yeah, we still have to. Oh, yeah, let's go guess the spread first.
Okay.
Let's do guess the spread first. Well, Ramsey already knows the spread, so I'm going to go. This is a tough one with the Hawks, and I don't know if it refreshed already with no Zach LaVine.
It did.
This is tough. I think it's the Kings. I'm going to say 2.5 Kings favorite.
I'll say Atlanta favored by 1.
Okay.
I'm going back and forth on this too. I'll go with the Kings 2 plus 2.5.
Okay.
Is that everybody's final answer?
Final answer.
Whitey is the winner,
Okay.
but he's off on the number.
Oh, it's
With
bigger.
Zach LaVine out of the lineup now, the Atlanta Hawks are favored by 4.5 points tonight.
That's crazy.
Yep, there we go.
That is crazy. All right, let's get to some prop talk. Wow. That is.
Talked yesterday, Ellen. I believe I missed on Precious Achua's points, but I think I hit on Russell Westbrook's under 15.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe.
Respect.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do not feel good about tonight. Okay, I think the easy answer.
How did you do yesterday?
I don't even know who I had.
I didn't do
I think
well.
I had Dennis Schroeder and was wrong again.
Yeah, I had LaVine.
So you know
That's
what?
right. I remember you had LaVine.
They don't even have half of these guys up because Zach LaVine's out. They don't know who's gonna play.
Huh.
This is a mess. Just give me. They're not even offering normal points for DeMar DeRozan. It's just the higher number or the lower number, but like the demon and the goblin. This is a disaster.
So do we go with Eubanks?
Yeah, give me. No, you know what? I'm tripling down on Dennis Schroeder. At some point, he's getting over 12.5. At some point, that's where I'm going.
Oh, I think he needs an intervention.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Ramsey, let's get to, I know we got to go quick here, a dog segment real quick before we get on out of here. My dog of the game. It's going to be Nick Clifford. I'll take the easy answer with Zach LaVine out.
Stunningly, Maxime Reynaud, the dog tonight.
I'm going Eubanks.
There we go. Ramsey?
I was going to go Eubanks, but I think I know who I'm going to go with. Give me Brody.
All right.
Give me honest. Hey, not just because I said Brody. Happy 37th birthday to Russell Westbrook.
The birthday boy. You got Whitey Gleason, Kayla Anderson, and Jay Johnson coming up next. Thank you to Brett Siegel. Great job to Ramsey. Thanks to all the callers, texters, sack chatters. We will talk to you tomorrow. Until then, secure the bag. Like the beat.
Let me. Don't make it my podcast.
Don't forget my podcast.
Gotta go.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play